Welcome to the Big Blue Crew Sports Network.
Hit the mic opinions with the snap. NYC 22, yeah, that's the cap. Unpopular takes, but we cut no slack. Watch the views climb while we talk that smack.
It look like we running with DJ for another year, girl.
I think the Giants are going to get off to a fast start.
This channel for them high sports laws. Got the bass that hit like heavy doors. Unpop opinion sports where the talk roars.
Yo, what's good, man? What's good, everybody? Welcome back to another edition of Heart of the City, where we talking all New York City area sports, man. I am your host, Mr. Unpopular Opinion Sports, aka NYG Double Deuce, in the building with my bros, Coach Ed Gladney, you know, the coach, bringing you the X's and O's, bringing you all the info with the ladies. Then I got my man S. God, you know what I'm saying? Dropping all that basketball knowledge, man. Hitting you left and right, man, with the real deal sports info, man. Appreciate you, man. But
Sir,
how y'all doing tonight, man? What's good with you, man? We back, man. We Heart of the City, man. Let's go.
we doing good, man. Well, now we got the official word of who's on the 53 man for right now. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'll take away all the guessing.
Yeah, we definitely gonna get into the 53 man roster. We're gonna get into Arron Judge, man. Arron Judge is in a big home run chase right now. Of course, trying to break his own record, actually, you know what I'm saying, as well as some greats out there. We got a coach's segment that I want to get back into, man, as well as Coach's Corner, man. I want to talk a little bit just about New York, you know what I mean? Because this is Heart of the City. And I want to get into the fighting Mets, the fighting Nets, and the fighting Liberty. Because the Nets are fighting for what? The number one pick. The Mets are fighting for a wild card spot right now. And the Liberty fighting for the number one seed in the WNBA playoffs. So we got some teams fighting right now and some battles. But before we get started, man, Coach, what's good with you, man? How you feeling today, man? What's on your mind, bro?
Yeah, I'm good. Just, ready to get into the heart of the city and, staying on top of things. So.
For sure, man. What about you, man, Cave, a.k.a. S. God? What's up with you, bro?
Hey, man, you already know. Ready to talk with that Giants talk, the Jets roster cut down and stuff like that, the surprises and who made it and who I thought shouldn't have made the team. You know what I'm saying? So, the coaches know better than we do. You know what I'm saying? And just because it is what it is with the 53 man roster, don't mean that's what it's going to be before opening day. So you just got to keep that in mind.
Facts, man. So let's dive right into the New York Giants 53 man roster. Then we're gonna get into the Jets, and then we're gonna get into the baseball, basketball, and we're gonna have a good show tonight, y'all. We're gonna have a good show, man. Definitely got some things cooking. So let me get this New York roster up in this joint. Bang. All right. So, what's good, man? Shout out to the chat. Shout out to Big Fan Breezy, man, in the building, bro. Appreciate you, man.
Yes,
Appreciate your support, man. That's a day one, literally. Like we grew up together. So, let me see if I can get this a little bit.
What's up, Mosley?
Mosley, what's good, bro?
All right. Can y'all see that? All right. So, I don't know why why this thing is in the way. Whatever, man. All right, starting with the quarterbacks. Got Daniel Jones, Tommy DeVito, Drew Lock. Now, when we discussed this on Giants Conversations Sunday, we had Tommy DeVito off our roster. And the reason he makes it is because, as you see, the Giants go 3 tight ends and 3 running backs.
So we talked about, yep.
So, Coach, exactly. So, Coach, elaborate on how that works a little bit more, man. Just talk about why the Giants will make a move like this, man. Only keeping 3 quarterbacks, which not a lot of teams do. The Giants traditionally don't do it, and only going with 3 tight ends and 3 running backs.
Well, right now, the first thing is Drew Lock. How, I know he was injured, and there's that that thought that he going to be out a little bit longer. So everything is a numbers game, because remember, bottom line, you have to have 53 players. How you get there, that's up to you. So and like you said, most teams will try and go with 2. If you need 3, it's because somebody might be hurt and you're trying to get someone through. So where do you take it from? Here they thought running back and tight end, because now those are 2 position groups. We had 4 apiece. So quarterback, I could say address one of those 2, and then that other player is picked up somewhere else in terms of the numbers game. So but ultimately that's why you go with DeVito on the roster as the 3rd quarterback, because right now we've you don't know what's up with Drew Lock, and then even though most don't want to hear it, with Daniel Jones, you do have to, in the back of your mind, protect yourself in terms of possible injury. So that's really what it boils down to.
My thing here is, Coach, is you light on tight end. You light. You got Belly, you got Theo Johnson, you got Manhurst. We all thought Jacob Johnson was going to make it. Lawrence Cager didn't make it. So
if you need an extra tight end in certain run situations, you can put an offensive lineman in. Remember, they've done that in the past.
Yeah.
Now, if you're talking about as a pass catcher, then okay.
Yeah.
I'm with you there. So
sent you the link to your individual Big Pat. I sent you the link to your individual Twitter. You and Lou and Coach Keith. I don't want a lot of guests on the show tonight. I'm trying to have a smooth, quick show. So no disrespect, but sometimes it's got to be like that. But yeah, I think I sent it to you guys. Let me double check. Yep, Pat got it. G Nation got it. All right, cool. All right, but there he is. Pat, what's good with you, bro?
Not much,
bro.
But yeah, we just got into the 53-man roster breakdown. Talking about the quarterback, of course, and how the Giants went with 3 quarterbacks and how they basically skimped on the running back and tight end position, man. How do you feel about them only going with 3 tight ends and 3 running backs, Pat? And then I get your then I get Cave's comments. Go ahead.
I kind of figured they were going to go with 3 quarterbacks because Drew Lock is hurt, and Vito knows the system, so that's not a surprise there. The 3 tight ends is not a surprise either, since
Cager.
Yeah, Cager has been hurt.
Cager's
been hurt, and I mean now the running backs with the 3, I really wanted them to keep Turbo Miller, but I guess I understand where they're coming from. Hopefully Turbo Miller could be on the practice squad, and I'm quite sure he'll get called up a couple of times, man. That dude, he's just, I just think he's a speed element that we haven't had in a long time. And he's a running back. He's not just a speed guy. So hopefully he can make it back to the squad. If not, somebody will get a good running back.
Yeah, absolutely. But what's your thoughts, Cave, man? What's your thoughts on the QB, running back, and tight end spots right here? We'll just do like a little 3-pack of.
Yeah, I kind of felt like I knew he was gonna kick 3 quarterbacks and stuff like that, especially with Drew Lock being hurt and stuff like that. So I kind of figured that was gonna happen. The running back, I was surprised. I thought it was gonna be 4 running backs. I thought Dante Miller definitely was gonna make the the roster because I thought they could have took away from another position, but that's what they decided they wanted to do and stuff like that. So I'm good with the 3 running backs, but like I said, I mean, I really do want Miller on the team. If we could get him somehow to practice squad and keep him on there and stuff like that. As far as the tight end, I wasn't surprised at the tight end with KJ being hurt. Had he been healthy and been playing most of the thing, I think they probably would have went with 4. But it was an easy decision for them to make with the injury and stuff like that. So because he has a hamstring and I think a groin too, so that could be like lingering for a while. So. Yeah, I understand the tight end position and stuff like that. So I'm good with that too.
I told you, tight end, you could take an extra offensive lineman. And, running back, though, I get you, unless they're going to use Chapman as a running back. So I doubt. I really doubt.
Don't be surprised.
But no, I'm not, because he was a running back in high school.
He was.
So, and we see his speed and what he knows how to play the position technically. So. So I mean, I was joking about it, but look, it's a thought, and that's the thing. We have to also look at versatility. So DeVito making a roster, like we all said, with Drew Lock hurt. I think if Lock wasn't hurt, do you think you could get away with the 2? And that's something, we'll see when Lock, is healthy, what happens with him.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely, man. So let's get into the other. Let's start with the O-line here. This thing is funny. I might need to back out a little bit.
It's what 10 offensive linemen.
Yeah.
Oh,
1,
so
2,
that's
3,
where that's
4,
where
5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah,
we had 9 before.
but originally I had 10. Remember that,
Mm-hmm.
Coach? When I first did, I had 10, and y'all was like, "That's too much," because I knew they was gonna have some.
Schlottman.
They're gonna wanna have some protection at the O line after what happened last year.
It's
That's
Schlottman.
they're scared. Scottman.
Slotman. I thought they could have hired him.
I thought they were gonna cut him, but
yeah, they could have hired one of those bums on the practice squad.
Kubis made it, so we got that one right.
We got everyone except Schlottman.
Except him, yeah.
Right.
Every last one that we talked about is there.
How do y'all feel about this group though? Like, from last year? I wish I could pull up last year's 53, initial 53. From last year, how do y'all feel about this group right here compared to last year's offensive line?
I feel like what's his name? If what's his name get healthy, like I feel better with Tyree Phillips on there than Schlottman and Azulu. Straight up, I don't care about either one of those.
Is Schlottman a center?
Yeah.
Then Phillips, you can't compare Phillips to him. Different positions.
Yeah,
so,
you can compare him to Azulu, because Azulu they want him to be a tackle for whatever reason. But I would feel better with Azulu not being a swing. But Evan Neal, ain't he supposed to be the swing tackle? Let's talk about that.
Yeah, he's gonna be the swing tackle. Supposedly.
So I think, to me, just to answer my own question, I feel better because Evan Neal is not in the starting lineup and he's actually the backup where he should be at this point in his career. You know what I'm saying? Instead of forcing somebody into a lot of times, y'all, we can't just always force rookies just because they're a number 1 pick. You can't always just look what they're just doing with Fashano. Fashano's not starting. It's Tyron Smith. You see what I'm saying? So you can't. It's not always good to force a rookie in, and a lot of them fail like that. A lot of rookies drown like that because it's too much for them initially. We all thought Evan Neal could handle it. But I think this is actually the best thing for his career, him taking a step back a little bit and playing as a backup. If you got to come in and give the team a couple snaps, I think he might do all right. You know, call me crazy, but starting day in and day out, going against number one pass rushers, nah.
Mm-hmm.
He's right where he needs to be.
The thing is, man, it's something about those Alabama tackles, man. That J.C. Latham dude looked the exact same way. I knew it was gonna happen.
Mm-hmm.
I knew it was gonna happen with that J.C. Latham dude. Whoever took him, I don't know. It's something. It looks like something you have to coach out of. To be honest with you, they seem just slow. For some
Very
reason,
slow,
a little slow,
very slow, and their footwork is funky. All of them got bad footwork. That dude was stumbling, bumbling, fumbling with man Chris Burns.
I felt the dude from Oklahoma was better. What's that?
The dude that went to the Cowboys.
Tyler Guyton.
Absolutely, man. And they know this. You know what I'm saying? So it's just. It's wild, man.
You know they wanted Alt, but he was gone.
Yeah.
Just something about them Alabama tackles that's crazy.
Alabama tackles are terrible, man.
Alabama tackles under Nick Saban.
Ooh. Shots at Nick Saban, eh?
What about
I'm not lying. Think about that. These tackles you're talking about are all under Nick Saban's system. It was never like, I don't recall ever anything like that prior to that, going all the way back to the 70s. I don't recall, tackles from Alabama. If you came from Alabama, you were considered a good player. Matter of fact, that's going back to the Bear Bryant days, so into the 60s. So, but I mean, hey, I just say, is it a shot a little bit at Nick Saban? Yeah,
I just skill positions.
Yeah. I just want to show y'all what we talking about. So this is your man right here.
65.
It's
65.
Yeah. Oh my God.
It's just weird. He got stepped on.
Tajay Spears, the running back that knocked him down. Tajay Spears.
Yeah.
He had to step on.
He nudged him. Look at him. He nudges him like, get out the way.
The issue is he should have identified the guard had that guy, so he should have went to second level automatically. And because he was expecting that tackle to be there, and once you see the guard has him, head to second level because the back is coming. So that's the issue. He got in the way of the back. Yes, that's why your ass got ran over. That's the old school. Listen, I've taught offensive linemen. If the back is in your way, you run them over. I mean, the lineman is in your way, run them over.
Mm-hmm.
Run them over. And that's the thing. He should have went to second level. That's what his dumb ass should have done. But you know what? To Pat's point, a lot of these linemen,
he got right in the hole. Pause. Like he got right in the way. Like that's the hole right there.
It's either that or get to that tackle a lot faster because he's also slow.
Yeah, so, he's supposed to block 58 there. 58 watch.
No, it was He get
you see what I'm saying? 50, if he gets 58 right there, yeah, he got some. He got some.
And that was Tajay Spears just shoving with one hand out the way.
One hand, like, man. But let's get back to it, man. I just want to show y'all that, man. We got to incorporate some comedy in these streams. That shit's funny as hell when I seen it.
Yeah, that shit crazy, bro. I said, man, if that ain't Evan Neal, I don't know what it is.
That's what I said in chats too. I was like, damn, I thought Evan Neal was bad. Holy smokes.
It's just something that they're being taught over there or not being taught over there at Alabama. And they just look a little slow. So I guess Alabama, I have to really look at Alabama's run game.
Yeah,
really see if it's just based off straight power.
It's going to change. Remember, they have a new coaching staff. So now you want to look at Washington's old system. So because DeBoer is different than Saban. So
that was
and they had good linemen.
Tennessee Titans. Yeah, Brian.
That was that. They remember Washington had the number one offensive line. So to be honest with you, once they get recruiting down, I'm expecting Washington to do the same thing. I mean, Alabama to do the same thing. So, but that's college football. Let's focus on the Giants.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Now we're gonna get into college, man. I know you got some good stuff lined up for Coach's Corner. So we're gonna keep the the show rolling here, man. But what y'all think about this wide receiver? Surprise, 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 man. And I'm gonna give shout outs to my bro Lou. You said, Lou, you've been saying this whole time talking about Bryce Ford Wheaton. I remember, bro. Like, I keep receipts, mental receipts. Lou been talking about Bryce Ford Wheaton the whole time, how this man was going to make the roster. And damn sure he did. Bryce Ford Wheaton got his roster spot solidified. Dang, that's crazy, though. But yeah, Bryce Ford Wheaton, the biggest surprise here. None of the other ones are really surprised. I'm guessing they're thinking Olszewski is close to returning, so that's why they put him on the roster, man. But what's y'all thoughts about this wide receiver group right here?
I'm definitely a little surprised that it was 6 and not 7, and then the 6. 2 of the guys that I thought they weren't going to make it made it.
Yeah. He gets the nod for special teams, Brian. That's why he made it, because Allen Robinson and Isaiah Hodgins don't play special teams. So if you're gonna keep a bigger bodied receiver, you're gonna keep the one that helps you out in the special teams area. You know what I mean? So,
Well, let's just hope he's healthy, because he's always hurt, though. That's the only thing with him.
And that's why the practice squad is going to be very, very important for the Giants this year, because a lot of these guys, like you said, they always dealing with injuries. It's always somebody underperforming. It's always something. You know what I mean? So the practice squad is going to be very, very important this year with the Giants. You know what I mean? But that was one of the biggest surprises for me, man, was the wide receiver group. But moving over to the defense, man. Look at all these linebackers. Good googly moogly. We got one,
edge rushers and
2, 3. Yeah. Well, you want to count Brian Burns as an edge? Cool. That's 1. You want to count Aziz? 2. Kayvon? 3. Whitley? 4.
I count.
Are we counting Basham as an edge? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you guys want to move Boogie Basham to the DN when we did our 53.
I think that's where he'll play. His most snaps, but they got him as an edge.
Yeah, they got him as a linebacker. But we got Bobby O, Carter Coughlin, who you guys said was gonna make it, Johnson, McFadden, Muasau, and we pretty much got that. Got that one down. DBs. I was surprised Trey Hawkins made it. Javarius Owens, but again, that's the power in draft picks. They're gonna be the last to give up on their own draft picks. They cut other draft picks, because everybody says, "Oh, why you cut this person?" They cut these other people because they have faith in their draft picks. Your man Dable said he had faith in Cordell Flott. I don't have faith in Cordell Flott, but if Dable has faith in Cordell Flott, guess what? He's going to be on the roster. Same thing with Trey Hawkins. Same thing with Javarius Owens, because they drafted these guys. Everybody else
special teams too.
Pretty much, yeah. Everybody else we pretty much knew was going to be here. The surprise.
Bye, Darnay Holmes. Bye, baby. Bye, Darnay Holmes.
Darnay Holmes not making the roster. To coaches, I wasn't even gonna say it, but coaches pleased that Darnay Holmes is not on the Giants roster. Let's just say that. Let's be nice about it to Darnay Holmes. He's pleased about that. And then, of course, you had that weird clip of Darnay Holmes on the sideline. That's probably what he's most famous for.
That's weird out when we was calling that game. What's going on over there?
But that's the DBs, and to round out the defense, we got the defensive linemen. No surprises here. Y'all want to kick DJ Davidson off the roster, but I told you, KC Rogers, they was not going to put the undrafted free agent over their draft pick.
I did say that last night.
If it wasn't for those 10 linemen, he would have been there.
Like 10 linemen. He's always hurt too. So I don't.
What did I say last night, NYG? When I went through and I said I had to rethink and look at it.
Yeah,
some of it was wrong. I'm not right, but yeah, I knew the D line. It's what I know the most, and DJ. Plus, like you guys say, he's a draft pick.
He's a draft pick, exactly, and it's a changed draft now. The old regime is pretty much gone. Outside of Daniel Jones, as they call him, and Darius Slayton. So outside of them two people, this is their roster. So we are going to see
too. Cesar Jalari, Carter Coughlin.
Somehow he's still hanging around. Carter Coughlin, he doesn't have special teams, but yeah. But those aren't. Aziz, Dex, Thomas, but the basically core of the roster is them. You know what I'm saying? So, outside of Dex and Andrew Thomas, nobody's really solidified as far as moving through with the future. Even Daniel Jones and Slayton. So. But what do you guys think about the defense, man, and how they put that roster together, man? I want you guys to talk about that, man, because I know Coach, especially you two, Pat, you guys are big into the defensive side of the football.
I mean, if you look at the defense, I mean, I understand any concerns on the back end because they're young, but I think if everyone gels, they're going to be better in the run game in terms of defending it. I've seen some of the techniques that they're teaching the guys on the edge. To force them to either spill it or crash it. So, and if they stay true and stand strong, the run defense is going to be a lot better than it has been in the past. Now on the back end, we definitely got to get pressure, and that's going to be the key because if you leave the DBs hanging on the back end, then the concerns that everyone had during the preseason are going to come to fruition. But everyone who was concerned about the preseason. I'm just going to tell y'all, they played a vanilla system. If you want to say damn near high schoolish, they played damn near high schoolish with some of their schemes or whatever. It's like he's not showing what he's going to do for the season. He's just looking at players to see who can do what. So, the first couple of games, first few games, you want to sit back and really watch and dissect a little bit more and see how guys are fitting in. That's fine. And make a true assessment and a true criticism, fine. But defensively, I think we'll be fine on the front end. It'll just be, the youth on the back end because who is in the vet? Nick McLeod is probably the oldest guy on the most veteran guy in the back end.
That's crazy, bro.
And then after him is what? Pinnock? Yeah, it's Pinnock.
That's wild, bro.
Nick McLeod and then Pinnock.
Mm-hmm.
Guess you can say Isaiah Simmons,
exactly.
Wow.
Tay Banks is going into his second year. Belton is 3 years. Flott second year. Hawkins second year. Tyler Rubin rookie. Owens second year. Phillips is So we're young.
That's scary. That's scary to be honest with you. But Man Cave, man, S-God, my bro, get in there, man. What you think about this defense, man, and what they put together here on the defensive end?
I'm still surprised about the DBs and stuff like that with Trey Hawkins and let me see because I didn't think Trey Hawkins made the team, but like I said, even though this is what they have, I'm pretty sure they're going to upgrade the roster and get somebody else. You know what I'm saying? They're looking at all these 1,200 guys that's available and stuff like that, and if they can upgrade, they're going to upgrade. I don't care if it's their pick or not. At the end of the day, we got to forget about the picks and what I'm saying, if they're not performing, they just not performing. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's what they're going to do. Even though they made the 53-man roster, I think they're going to upgrade within the next couple of days or by next week or something like that. So if they see somebody better, Trey Hawkins could be off the team. No problem. I don't care.
Facts, man. Big Pat, what's your thoughts, man? I know you got something to say on this defense, man, on this defensive roster, man. How are you feeling with Joe Shane? Because it's been a lot of smoke coming at Joe Shane, you know. How do you feel about how this GM did putting together this defense?
I think they did a pretty good job, and they basically did what they had to do. Besides the cornerback position, you really can't do anything about that unless you had a trade in place, and somebody has to be willing to trade with you. I do believe the defensive line. You're gonna see people like Boogie Basham get some snaps, and I just think one of those guys are gonna replace Roches before the end of the season. To be honest with you, so only thing I'm worried about is the secondary if we can't get pressure. But other than that, I think we're gonna be very good. Once Michael McFadden becomes healthy, we get Bobby O. McFadden back. The front is excellent. And Deonte Banks is going to have to grow up real soon because we face a lot of top receivers this year. So the only thing I'm worried about is the back end of the secondary with the whole team, to be honest with you. I think we're good.
Yeah, man. That back end of the roster is a little iffy right now, man. But to me, like I think with this roster right here, you got to understand where they started and where they are now. You know what I'm saying? So we started with bare minimum. It's you know what I'm saying? It's like starting with 50 cents and you trying to turn that 50 cents into $5. You know what I'm saying? You gotta acquire a lot of coin, a lot of assets, you know what I'm saying, to get your to get where you're trying to go, to get what you want. Now, I think you have to consider the trades they made, the draft picks, and who they let go. We was just talking about this. Shout out to you guys on Twitter and in the Big Blue Crew chat. We was just talking about this. The Giants wide receivers that have played with Daniel Jones, guess what? They're not in the NFL. None of them. Except for Darius Slayton.
Kadarius Toney.
Cut. Richie James, cut. David Sills, cut. Isaiah Hodgins, cut. Darren Waller out the NFL. Golden Tate out the NFL. Come on, give me some more names.
What about Shepard? Where's Shepard at?
Gone.
He got
cut
from
by the Tampa Bay.
Harris Campbell just got cut from the Eagles.
Cut. John Ross, cut.
No, exactly. No, I mean we know
That's
that,
what I'm
bro.
talking about. That's what I'm talking about. So you got to understand this roster was very, very bad.
Bottom of
It
the
was
barrel.
an abomination. We're not there no more. I don't give a damn with no media person. So this ain't the worst roster in the NFL. Not close. So, yeah, we do got to prove it on the field. And guess what? The Giants got a chance to do that this year. But don't sit up here and act like we don't have nothing here. Like we're just trash. We don't have no players that can be good, that can make an impact. Stop playing, bro. But I'm done.
Yeah, I'm telling you, that's what they do. They listen to the media. And that shit is just annoying, bro. Like, bro, you just listen to what the media says and you just take it to heart. Like, come on, bro. How is this a bottom NFL roster, bro? I don't care if you don't like Daniel Jones or not. If Daniel Jones' name was replaced with freaking Drake May, they would say, "Oh, this is an up and coming roster." You know what I'm saying? It's just because DJ is here, and it's crazy. DJ is not a bottom tier quarterback. Pull up the roster again.
Let's see. I got you. There you go.
If you go through our starters, Daniel Jones is not a bottom tier quarterback. I don't care what nobody says. Okay, you want to say Daniel Bellers is a bottom tier tight end. Okay. You want Devin Singletary is definitely not a bottom tier running back.
Mm-mm.
We don't have bottom tier receivers. We don't have a bottom tier offensive line, in my opinion, because people were actually giving the offensive line credit during the preseason. He said those dudes are solid. We don't have bottom tier defensive line. We don't have bottom tier edge rushers. We don't, I mean, you can say we have bottom tier DBs. Okay. We don't have bottom tier safeties because Pinnock is going to get a contract. He's shown that he's a very good safety. And who knows what Tyler Nubin turn into be.
Tyler Nubin got Belton. But again, my thing is, Pat, the media is going to criticize them because they're unproven. And that's fair. Because to me, I'm skeptical of these dudes. Just talking about the DBs. I don't know, bro. Like,
yeah, the DBs
even with Tay Banks, he could have a sophomore slump. We don't know, bro. You know what I'm saying? So I'm very, very skeptical about the DBs, bro. But outside of that, I don't want to hear this. The Giants are terrible shit.
So let me ask you, NYG, because you said you're skeptical.
Mm-hmm.
So is your skepticism because of their youth or because of their ability and talent?
It's because they're unproven. We don't know. That's why.
Okay. So it's really their youth. That's really what you're saying. They have to show it.
They got to show it.
We're not saying they don't have. They have shown some traits that they have some talent.
Absolutely. I have a lot of. I like Belton skills. I like Banks, of course, man. You know, I like Tyler Nubin, Phillips, Pinnock. He's one of my favorite players on the Giants. I like the way he plays. You know what I'm saying? Isaiah Simmons, he has shown he can be used in various ways and make a difference out there. So they have talent. You know what I'm saying? They just got to prove it. That's all, you know, and it's fair for people to criticize that. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm like, I don't know. I'm not going to sit up here and puff my chest out like, you know, got some. Now, the D-line and the linebackers, I'm with you, Pat. Yeah. I don't think you could really, like, cap on that because these guys have. Brian Burns is proven shit in the NFL. Dexter Lawrence has proven shit in the NFL. Kayvon has proven shit in the NFL. Bobby Okereke, you know what I'm saying? McFadden had a good year last year. Aziz has had over 8.5 sacks in the season before. So these guys have proven they can do their thing. You know what I'm saying? It's just the DBs for me. That's scary, man. When you're going up against CeeDee Lamb, Terry McLaurin's and goddamn AJ Browns and people like that. It's nerve-wracking.
Craig, I've been saying this for the longest while, haven't I, NYG? It's New York hate. That's really ultimately no matter what. But don't get me wrong, the Giants, they have to prove it on the field. Yes, they do.
Yeah.
But, you know, it's always New York hate.
It's just the stupid negativity that I just don't understand. That's like me with the crew here. If I'm just sitting here telling you what you don't do right and what you ain't got all damn day, would we be a crew?
Nah.
Would you feel like you could go out there and do anything? Well, shit, all you tell me is how trash I am.
Right.
I could do 8 things right, and the one thing I do wrong, that's what you're harping on. That's what you report on. That's what you tell. That's what you telling them, the world all day long. That's it. Even with our best players, Brian Burns, he's only had 10 sacks or more in 1 or 2 seasons. But the dude around the league, they'll tell you Brian Burns is a monster. Ask his peers. Kayvon Thibodeau, he's a bust. No. The dude had almost 12 sacks last year on a team that was bad. Like, people were running the ball against us last year at the end of the game. Devin Singletary is trash. How? The dude has been playing well his whole career. Is he somebody like Derrick Henry? No, but he's still a good bat.
He was a good player in the Texans because
No has a point here. Not to cut you, but it says low-key fans want the players to be perfect.
Yeah, and with the Giants, they don't do that with other teams. Other teams, their second-tier players, they cheer them on. Somebody can sign a freaking waiver wire player right now, man, that was a great move. But if the Giants sign him, oh, you're terrible. It's like we have to have a 53-man roster of Hall of Famers. That's what we gotta have, just for them to say we're good. Not even a great team, just to say that, oh yeah, we can make some noise with 53 Hall of Famers.
Yeah, right, and that's what they want. They want everybody on the squad to be some type of Pro Bowl, Hall of Fame type player. Like you got to be perfect. Like he's like no said, you gotta be. You can't have no flaws at all. That's why they can't really say Andrew Thomas, Dexter Lawrence. They can't really talk about them players. They're basically fucking damn near perfect. You know what I'm saying? And everybody else on this roster, they try to pick apart. From Daniel Jones down to Kayvon Thibodeau. Now the people we bringing in now, Brian Burns, like you said, Devin Singletary, they ragging on him. This dude had more yards than Saquon punk ass Barkley.
You're right. Like I said, he was good on the Texans, but he came to the Giants. He's not good anymore.
He can't be good no more because he's on the Giants. That's how ludicrous our fucking fan base is. Excuse my French.
And then you look at Daniel Jones the year we went to the playoffs. He threw for 3,200 yards. They downplay that. But then they almost gave the MVP to Jalen Hurts, and he threw for 3,700 yards. So what's 500 yards more?
With A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, Dallas Goedert, best offensive line in the game, best defense in the game that's getting the ball. You know how many sacks and turnovers they got for that dude that year? And you gonna sit here and tell me that Jalen Hurts is just this guy quarterback, and your quarterback only did 10% less than what he did with a 90% less roster. Like it's weird, bro. Like just with Joe Shane, he can't draft. First of all, sir, he's only been here 3 years, and this is the third year. Oh, he ain't re-signed none of his players because he can't yet. None of them are eligible to be re-signed. What are you talking about?
Right.
Oh, he can't hit on many of his picks. Okay, low round picks didn't work out, and Evan Neal. I can name you picks that can combat all those bad picks. He's had good picks to go with him. One of the dude that they considered the draft guru, Ozzie Newsome, only hit 41.3 on his picks. Turned out to be really good. 41.3. And he was considered a guru.
Right.
Nobody hits on 90% or 100% of their draft every year. You may see that happen once every blue moon. Oh, Trey Hawkins is not an all-pro player. He was a 6th round pick, sir. A 6th round pick. Beavers didn't work out. A 6th round pick, sir. Like these dudes are picked that low for a reason.
And you know what'd be crazy? It'd be like the Giants fan base is so weird. And we're gonna move on to the Jets because here in just a second. But to land the plane, the Giants fan base is so weird because a lot of the players they were talking about so much, like Beavers and some of these other players. And now when they get cut, oh, Joe Shane is an idiot. You know what I'm saying? You guys wanted these type of players. You guys wanted somebody that was more in the analytics. You guys didn't like the old school way. You know what I'm saying? So now when he cuts a running back because the analytics say it makes sense, he's stupid. See what I'm saying? You gotta be consistent. And when you're dealing with people that pay attention and that are open-minded and that are free thinkers and critical thinkers, you're gonna get caught. And I catch y'all every time, because I be listening. Y'all was talking about Beavers. You was talking about, Tamon Fox. You talking about all of these players. But when they get cut, now all of a sudden the GM is at fault. Because they, as a player, couldn't beat out their competition. Whose fault is that?
Just like the Allen Greenwood comment right there. What are you doing? They traded a 7th rounder for Malik Willis. What has Malik Willis done? The dude got replaced by another rookie the year after he got drafted. and couldn't beat out freaking Tannehill to play quarterback. When he got in there, the Titans didn't even score any points.
Look, man, Malik, even Malik Willis, you know what I'm saying? Like, what would Malik Willis bring to the Giants?
Facts.
Because guess what? As much as I don't like Locke and DeVito, they have a better chance succeeding on the Giants than Malik Willis for several reasons. Experience is one. Coaching is two. This crazy metropolitan fan base is three. You got to be in tune with the city. You know what I'm saying? Because this media and these people are going to come after you when you make a mistake. It's never good to bring in people that don't fit your culture. And I'm not saying that's Malik Willis, you know, but the Giants don't need that right now. What the Giants need is to build a foundation. Stop worrying about the quarterback. It's going to get fixed soon or later. I promise you that. This is the NFL. The Giants will get a quarterback that y'all, oh, it's so great. They'll get one. They always do eventually. Stop worrying about it. Let them build the roster out. Because again, you know, I am one to tell you we can up. Me and Alex, shout out to Alex. We had a conversation about this today on Twitter. Yeah, if the Giants was to entertain a Jameis Winston, that would be cool because I think he's a better quarterback. But guess what? You've paid Drew Lock. You made your bet with Drew Lock. Just roll with that. It's okay. It's gonna be okay because guess what? If Daniel Jones goes down, the season's over any fucking way.
That's a fact.
Just go with what you got. Might as well at this point. But coach, let's get into the Jets, man. Let's talk about the Jets.
Take over the chat. Left off at Q-Bro 1015 is the next one up. So, and from there, you got
15. Yeah, all right, I got you.
With the Jets, two things that I want to talk about. The first thing, the Jets, they acquired a 6th-round draft pick from the Bills for Brandon Codrington and New York's 7th-round draft pick. So, and the Buffalo Bills 2026 6th-round draft pick. So, and that gives the Jets 3 6th-round draft picks in that draft. So, including their own Denver's, which they got for John Franklin Myers, you know, earlier. So, Connington, though, he was a 5'7", 106 UDFA with the Jets. So, you know, they're getting something of value for him in a sense. So, now in terms of the Jets, they had their cuts. Adrian Martinez and Andrew Peasley, their quarterbacks, they cut. Running backs, Deion Jackson and Xavier Valladay. Wide receivers, Tyler Harrell, Lance McCutcheon, Brandon Smith, and Isaiah Winstead. Tight end, Anthony Frisker, Neil Johnson, Zach Kuntz, and Lincoln Seafick. Offensive linemen, Austin DeSalis, Obinay, Eze, Chris Glazer, Jack Hansen, Brady Lathan, Coho Liveo, Willie Tyler, former Rutgers Scarlet Knight. Defensive line, Bruce Hector, Tanzil Smart, Jalen Twyman. Linebacker, Sam Igual-Voen. I don't know. I hope I said it right. Linebacker, Anthony Hines, Marcelo McCray Ball, Jack Sermon. Cornerbacks, Sherman Bartholomew, Jalen Holmes, Kendall Sheffield, Nehemiah Shelton, Trey Swillen. Safety, Al Blades Jr., Jalen Key, Jarius Moore, and kicker, Austin Siebert. Those are all their cuts for today. So, you know, they're definitely positioning themselves. There are some surprises, you know. I wondered about Martinez. Did he do enough to, make it and get stuck or make it to the roster? I was a little surprised about Kuntz, who was their draft pick out of ODU last year. That's that 6'7", 6'8" tight end receiver that they converted to tight end. So I was really wondering, but I guess, they have a plethora of tight ends over there. So, no one else really stuck out. I was wondering about Al Blades Jr., but is it more about the name recognition as opposed to his talent? So, but that's what I was thinking about. I mean, that's what I have there as far as the Jets. So,
all right, let me see if I could get a little visual here. All right, have a little discussion here about the Jets, Jets. Why can't I make this?
Yeah, Iman Martinez just seemed like, he was coming. I mean, I don't want to say he was the next Brady, but, he was giving him a little something dynamic, especially with his mobility. But I think a lot of it also, which most people don't realize, is what he did in the UFL, because he was the UFL MVP and he was the championship MVP of the championship game. So he was really dynamic at that level, and you were trying to see if it transitioned to the NFL. So, but when he was at Nebraska and then I think went to Kansas State after that, he was more the mobile quarterback. His accuracy and such were always in question. I'm sorry.
Now, the thing here with the Jets is
Lonely said they had to cut why isn't it highlighting Martinez because he's rehabbing? Okay.
Yeah, Travis is Jordan Travis. Remember they picked him. My thing is here. What they going? Right. What's going on with Hassan Reddick, man?
He's holding out,
bro. So. Like that situation, I think getting swept under the rug by the media. How you trade?
No, it wasn't. Earlier. It's just that they're not talking about it anymore. It was. Trust me when I was telling you, it was a fire. It was a firestorm behind it. It's just that how long do you keep it going?
But we over here talking about Daniel Jones, and the Jets traded for Hassan Reddick, gave up picks,
and let a young player go over to the Eagles. Don't forget about that.
Yeah,
but and you're right, NYG. But again, you made the point which everyone always talks about. Daniel Jones is the quarterback. It's the most important position. So the quarterback is always going to get the vast majority of the blame as well as the credit. Everybody else isn't. So I've criticized the GM in reference to that move. Why didn't you get that done from the get-go? Why didn't you talk to him before you made the trade? Get some type of guarantees. At least he was going to be in camp. So I'm with you 1,000,000,000%. But
and look, I like Jermaine Johnson. Michael Clemens. I don't know what you guys think about him, but I'd much rather have Hassan Reddick in that green little spot right there.
Of course.
So again, for all the people that's praising this goddamn defense right here as being the number one defense in the NFL, if they don't have a top pass rusher like Hassan Reddick, I'm sorry. You better hope Quentin Williams and Javon Kinlaw dominate every rep, because it's not going to be as easy to get that type of pressure, bro. They need this guy, bro. I'm telling you right now. I got a sense for shit like this.
Did they need him last year? I mean, I get what you're saying, but
they also had Bryce Huff. I'm talking about defensive wise, bro. They're going to need him for their pass rush. They're going to, because if they want to rush with 4, you know what I'm saying? And they can do that. The Jets have the team to do that because you got 2 good ass interior linemen right here. You know what I'm saying? Jermaine Johnson is a good edge rusher. It's the same thing we talk about with Kayvon Thibodeau and bringing in Brian Burns, and how now we got Dex, Chapman, Burns, and Thibodeau. That second edge rusher is very important. Now, Will McDonald, Takk McKinley. Yeah, they got promise. I seen McKinley go off in the preseason against
Takk McKinley's a former first-round pick, and he was looking good against our backups, bro.
The backup lineman. That's what I'm saying. But again, I feel like they're going to need Hassan Reddick at some point, man. But y'all got the floor.
Let me ask this, okay, just for context, because when you're saying need, if they're projected, let's just say with him, he's number 1. if they don't have him? Are they in the bottom half of the league in terms of defense? Okay,
Will
that's
Mc-
why I say need.
But what is their goals? You see what I'm saying?
No,
we always got to
yes.
say what expectations is. If the Jets' goal is to get in the playoffs, yeah, they can do that without Hassan Reddick. If their goal is to win the Super Bowl, they need Hassan Reddick. That's what I'm saying.
Now let's
fair.
Will
Levels-
McDonald.
levels
Let's
to it,
Will
yeah.
McDonald steps up to be an absolute monster.
See,
And
and
he could,
I
but I
wonder
don't
if that's what's holding them in terms of their negotiation, because they're like, well, we still have some young talent in McDonald
trade
and
for
Johnson.
Reddick, bro?
Bro, I'm not just arguing against that. It's just that, you know what? I have more issues with the GM, like you were saying now, in terms of that. But on the field, I still think they are at least a top 10 defense. Even without him, I think they're top 10.
I think they'll be all right. But
let me say
ahead,
this
Pat.
real quick, not to get off topic.
No, you got it.
But could you imagine the shit you would have heard in the media about us if we would have traded for Brian Burns and then give him a contract and he held out?
That's fair.
You're right, though.
Because NYG is right. This Hassan Reddick thing is not being overblown like how it is with the Giants. That's why I know the league hates the Giants. Because I promise you, if they would have traded for Brian Burns and not gave him a contract, that would have been world news today. Do you know how crazy that is to trade for somebody like that and not have a contract in place? And this dude could be a free agent the very next year.
Mm-hmm. Wait a minute. Can he, or do they still hold his rights?
They hold his rights, but next year, he only has 1 year left on his deal.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I got to double check. I could have sworn even if they hold out the whole year.
No, they will still have him if he holds out the whole year. If I hold out 1 year, I'll just hold out 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
But as a player, you know what, Pat? I get what you're saying, but right there, as a player, you've now jeopardized yourself, because that's 2 years of inactivity. Because think about what's his name, Colin Kaepernick. He held out.
But I'm just talking about the situation. I think he's a dummy.
Yes.
I would just play out that 1 year and won't return. Because a franchise tag for an edge rush is damn near 30-something million.
Mm-hmm.
Man, bro.
So he's a dummy. To be honest with you, I would just play out this 1 year.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And the very next year, I'll get 30-something million on the market, because I'll play my hardest. I wouldn't mess with nobody on that team, but I'll play my hardest to get my stats.
Mm-hmm.
But that whole situation is ignorant.
Yeah.
And if the Giants did something like that, oh my goodness. And I still think this defense is very good without him, because I think Will McDonald is going to be very good in this league. But Tack McKinley and all them dudes, that dude Tack McKinley was a former first-round pick fighting to be on the roster and beating up on Joshua Miles. Come on, man. Now he's the greatest of all time because he beat Joshua Miles and got a sack against Tommy DeVito.
Hey,
come on, bro.
Hey, leave him alone, cuz. Leave him alone. Why you gotta beat up on that man? Like,
hey, he's treating Joshua Miles like OC treated what's that, Winston Justice.
Yeah, and you got a dude named Bernard Whitley who's getting more stats than Tack McKinley.
Right.
And nobody on this fan base says anything about him. He's a scrub. But Tack McKinley can go on there and sack our dude with our third offensive line in there, and he's the greatest.
Tack McKinley, he's a former Falcon bust. He's a bust.
Yeah, that's
a first round pick that's playing late in preseason 3 games, fighting for a roster spot. He gets more love from our fan base than the people that are actually here. And Whitley, who's an undrafted free agent that was given nothing.
Right.
Let me ask y'all this about the Jets, about the Jets roster here. How do y'all feel about their offensive line depth now. I'm talking about depth because we talk of depth a lot with the Giants. So, we can move a lot of these conversations over to other teams. When I'm looking at this team right here, I'm looking at Tyron Smith, Morgan Moore, solid right there. Fashano is a draft pick. We don't know what he's going to look like.
Yes, exactly.
Carter Warren, I don't know much about him. Max Mitchell, I don't think he's any
Max
good.
Milton is a trash.
Yeah,
Max
Mitchell.
Very
He ain't no good. Very Tucker's good. John Simpson is solid. Xavier Newman, the backup, and then you got West Schweitzer. How y'all feel about this group, man? How do y'all feel about this offense?
They better not get no injuries to them tackles. I'll tell you that now.
They're overall, I think they're middle of the pack as far as an offensive line, as a starting offensive line. Fashano, he's a rookie, so it's going to take time. He's I think you said it earlier. He's in a perfect position because he was drafted in the first round, but now he could sit.
Yeah,
and that's what that's what I've always talked about. Offensive linemen, quarterbacks need time to sit and really see the game and develop. So he's in a perfect spot. Like I said, Max Mitchell, Luca will tell you. I broke down his film last year. He's trash, man. He's y'all. Here's the deal.
I remember everybody you saying something about him too. Yeah,
everyone kills Evan Neal. Let me tell you something. Max Mitchell is toilet paper in comparison to Evan Neal.
Yeah, that's bad. And I'm gonna tell you something else about this Jets roster. Those receivers are not good to me.
Oh, bro, I was about to get
there,
man. Go ahead, touch on it.
Besides Garrett Wilson, they better hope Alan Lazard turns out to be decent, because if he gets locked up, because Mike Williams is still hurt, and he's a walking injury. Xavier Gibson, they better have a lot of time with Aaron Rodgers so you can get the ball to them dudes. I tell you that now, that offensive line better block their tails off, because if you're able to go cover one, I have no faith in Alan Lazard exposing somebody out there. Only dude I'm afraid of somebody exposing is Garrett Wilson. And he's going to get 1,000 yards this year. That's for
Garrett
sure.
Wilson is the truth. Yeah, he nasty.
But them other dudes, hey, listen, man, it could be a problem out there. If that quick pass game ain't working, they're going to get ate up. And if you stop they run, it's going to be a problem.
That's the whole thing.
And that's the thing right here. The running game. The Jets gotta lean on this running. This running back group is very nice. They're good, man. Breece Hall, Braylon Allen. We've seen what Luke calling
Isaiah
Wakanda.
Davis is no joke. Davis was a dog at South Dakota State, even though it's FCS, but he was a beast over there. So yes,
Wakanda is nice too from Pittsburgh.
Yes, Wakanda is from Pitt. Yep.
But I know you're talking about Mike Williams, not lonely. That dude's good, but he's never healthy. It's like always something that happens to him, man. That's unfortunate, because I think he could be a very good receiver in this league. And you don't know all them injuries. Is he the same Mike Williams from 2 to 3 years ago? And Alan Lazard has proven that dude is not dependable.
He's not all shit type of a receiver.
I'm telling you, if they quick game is not working, it's a problem.
And what about the rookie Malachi Corley?
He's a rookie. He's gonna have to learn.
They got
Super Bowl aspirations.
Yeah, they got him on kick return right here. He's a kick return. Yeah, he's on kick return.
John Brownlee. They're gonna have to have some very, very good blocking if their run game.
They only went with 2 tight ends too. That's crazy work.
And those 2 guys are solid.
Now them cutting whatchamacallit is even more of a surprise. Kuntz.
Yeah, I don't know why they cut him. From Old Dominion.
Yeah. So if you're going with 2 tight ends, like we talked about us with 3, when it's like we could have went with 4. 2. Whoa,
that's light.
That's like so you're basically telling
blockers like that either.
Exactly. Rutgers, he's meh as a blocker. So and Conklin, he's more the receiving type of receiver, a tight end. So you're literally saying in the run game, are you going to bring in the extra offensive lineman? because now that leaves me, especially in short yardage, you're bringing an extra offensive lineman to help move the pile. Because
and they center is basically a rookie because Tittman didn't play that much last year.
I don't like Tittman.
He plays
John Simpson guy, he's too iffy. And Tyrone Smith only got a year or two left. So does Morgan Moses, and Morgan Moses is no top right tackle. He gets beat too.
Right.
To be honest with you,
he used to play for the Commanders.
He used to play the Commanders and the Ravens. And I'm gonna be real with you, bro. If that run game is not working for the Jets, it might be on.
Your defense needs to play even more.
Yeah, their defense better be number one.
Especially in turnovers. They're going to need to create short fields for them. And keep teams, if they're at the starting at that 20, don't let them, move the ball. Don't even let them get closer to 40, because then they can flip the field. So now it becomes a different ball game. Because I'm with you. Unless now if that running game, if they're really banging it, then it's a different ball game. Because then what it also does, Rodgers is good with play action. He's a vet. Yeah. So that play action will open up things in the passing game for Williams, Lazard, or whoever else is back there along with Wilson. So then that's where right now, if I'm a DC, I'm taking away your run game. I'm forcing you to pass. I want you to pass. You to pass. So, Rodgers, go ahead. And then you got to prove yourself to me, Aaron Rodgers. You're 40, 41 years old, coming back from an ACL. You got to prove yourself.
Yeah, man. Achilles, not his ACL, it's Achilles.
Achilles.
Yeah.
And if they're not giving Aaron Rodgers time to maneuver in that pocket and wait for stuff to break open because the play broke down or something like that, man, I just don't see it if their run game is not working.
Look at their division. So we always want to talk about the division. With the Giants, because we're Giants fans, but as we start to have conversations about other teams and different things like that, I always like to, as they say, compare and contrast. So look at the Jets division. You got Buffalo, you got the Buffalo Bills, you have the Miami Dolphins, and you got the Patriots. I don't think anybody expects much out the Patriots, but how do you see the Bills, Dolphins defenses matching up with the Jets offense?
Oh, well, I'm going to say this too to you, NYG. Don't sleep on the Patriots defense. They're at least going to have a good defense.
They'll have a decent defense, but
so it will get. No, what I'm saying is against the Jets, it could give them problems.
Well, yeah, division rivals. Yeah, it's always going to be nip and tuck. But right now, I would give the edge to the Jets.
Of course.
But looking at the other two teams, how do they stack up? Like, let's talk about it for a minute, man. We spend a lot of time on the Giants. I want to spend some time on the Jets tonight, man. Y'all, it's harder to city. Y'all hit this like button.
Yeah.
How do they really match up against the Buffalo Bills?
I think they match up well against the Buffalo Bills as long as their offensive line is blocking and their run game is going. I think the Jets match up against any team in the league if their run game is going because of that defense. And you do have Aaron Rodgers at quarterback and a all-star at receiver. So if you give that all-star receiver time to break loose, it's going to happen. But if you look at the other side, if their running game is not working, anybody in the league can play with them. You see what I'm saying? That's how this team is built. Just by looking at the roster, I didn't know their receivers were like. I thought they still had. Man, I thought they had another real good receiver over there. I'm tripping.
Denzel Mims.
They let Denzel Mims go. They let what's the other guy's name? He went to the guy that went to Elijah Moore. He went to Cleveland, and then they let Berrios go, who went to Miami. So they had decent receivers, but they kind of let them walk out the door.
They putting a lot of pressure on that run game and Aaron Rodgers. I tell you that.
Yeah.
If Aaron Rodgers is nowhere near as mobile as he used to be, I'll tell you that now. He's moving like a 40-year-old man.
Do not. I'm not asking for it, but don't let him get another injury because now you're putting everything on Tyrod Taylor.
It's over.
Tyrod Taylor then becomes the number one.
And I see a lot of interceptions with this roster. Because all they're gonna do is launch. All they're gonna do is launch it deep. And none of the receivers have deep speed like that. I'm sorry.
So the Buffalo Bills, man, they do got Von Miller, AJ Epinesa, and Ed Oliver over there on the defense.
Oh yeah.
They picked up they got DeQuan Jones, Greg Rousseau. I mean, like
that dumbass linebacker didn't keep getting hurt all the damn time.
But that's their best linebacker though.
That's what I'm saying.
Matt Milano.
Yeah, he reminds me of that dude from the Texans that used to always get hurt. He was on roids.
He's talking about Cushion.
Yeah, Cushion. He reminds me just like Cushion. Right. Stay getting hurt.
But I think to my point, man, like I think this D line is they could give that offensive line some trouble, man. Especially like you said, Coach, if they have an injury, man, and they back there, man, and like you said, Aaron Rodgers ain't fleet of foot no more like he used to be. It might get sticky. You know what I'm saying? It might get sticky
for me.
Especially with the especially when they go up there to Buffalo, you know what I'm saying, all that snow and stuff like that, man. You're really gonna have to lean on the run game, like Pat said. But I think to be honest with you, the Jets' run game is gonna be tough to stop because I'm gonna tell you something, man. Breece Hall is real. This dude is really, really good. I mean, like he can catch, he can like I've been watching Breece Hall since he came in the league with this Jets team. And I mean, he's been their best player. I know he got hurt last year, man, but he's been their best player since a rookie. You know what I'm saying? I think he still is, you know, from a skill position standpoint. Now, you know, the offensive line, of course, is the most important. We talk about all the time, but skills position standpoint, he's more important than Garrett Wilson. I'm sorry.
Yeah. If he goes down, it's a problem.
Yeah.
A huge problem. If he goes down.
Yeah. So Breece Hall, and then what Breece Hall is going to do is he's going to allow Aaron Rodgers to operate in that short game because he can catch out the backfield. You know what I'm saying? So Breece Hall is important in the passing game as well. Now, with this line, if this line starts to break down, looking at the Buffalo Bills matchup, guess what? You're going to need a Breece Hall because Aaron Rodgers going to have to get that football out quick.
Yeah.
And that's where I think the Jets might have a little bit of a problem.
Yeah, for some reason, I see the Jets as their defense is better than Buffalo's defense. I mean, Buffalo you gotta look at that. They took a step back with losing some of those guys on offense too. So I mean, Josh Allen gonna have to get some new guys in there. Got to get some chemistry with them. And the Jets got a good secondary. They got good, back end and stuff like that. Their defense is all around better. You know, and I think they can stop Josh Allen and the Bills.
Yeah. Here's the thing: when you play Josh Allen, it's not just like you got to understand that they're going to run most of the offense through Josh Allen. You know, and the entire team pretty much going to run through Josh Allen. The problem that the Jets are going to have is if Buffalo decides that, okay, like they did last year, now we're going to start running the football. If the Buffalo Bills were to commit to running the football, what they could do with a guy like Josh Allen is going to be difficult to stop them. Now, if they just sit back there and let Josh Allen play hero, I'm right with you, man, Cave. The Jets win the matchup, no question. But if they get this running game going and they can play off Josh Allen with read option and play action and different things like that, with the way Josh Allen runs the football himself and the way he can create off platform, it's going to be that's what makes the Buffalo Bills difficult. Buffalo messes themselves up because they get in the mode to where they want Josh Allen to play hero. And then when Josh Allen can't play hero and he starts turning the football over, then everybody's throwing their arms up. Oh, Josh Allen ain't no good. Stop making that dude play hero. Watch what Jim Harbaugh does with Justin Herbert this year. Watch what I tell you. He ain't gonna let that dude play hero. Run the football, Justin. Hand the ball off, Justin. Justin, hand the ball off, Justin. No, we don't want you to throw it. Hand it off. You know what I'm saying? Buffalo be on some dumb shit. And that's what gets me about Brian Dable. Stop trying to be the Buffalo Bills. Create your own style, bro. You know what I'm saying? It's okay to run the football. It's all right. Hopefully, like what coach says, hopefully he can run the football this year. And he will commit to running the football this year. And I think the Giants will be a good team. It's the same concept with Buffalo. Buffalo's got a better quarterback. I don't want to hear that conversation. Don't come at me with that right now. I'm just talking about schematics. You know what I'm saying? The way Buffalo plays football, it's not conducive to winning a championship. That's why they haven't got over the hump yet. They got to really commit to running the football and using Josh Allen the way he should be used and stop making him try to be Pat Mahomes or one of these drop back quarterbacks. Having Diggs will affect them, but sometimes, like we talk about with Saquon Barkley, sometimes addition by subtraction, because now Josh Allen can play free. He don't have Stephon Diggs in his ear ready to punch him in the face because he gave him the football. We know that dynamic wasn't good in Buffalo. You know, we've been hearing about this. So it might make Josh Allen play a little bit freer. So I wouldn't, yeah, I get it, but I wouldn't necessarily like say, hey, you know, since they don't got Diggs, they just gonna be a bad team. I don't subscribe to that stuff.
I'm just talking about their receivers. The receivers are young, they're rookies, like Keon Coleman and who's the other guy?
Giants receivers are young too. We're confident with them, aren't we? Okay. Yeah. Keon Coleman, I like Keon Coleman coming out of Florida State. I think he's gonna be all right. You know what I'm saying? But again, the key is scrap the receivers for a minute. Can they run the football? Josh Allen can make plays in the passing game. I know that with whoever. You know what I'm saying? As long as them cats can catch the football. The question is the running game. But that's how I see that matchup. Let's switch it over to the other team, man, with the Dolphins real quick. How y'all think they match up with Miami? Miami are a little bit of a different team now. More high flying, lot more smoke and mirrors on offense, man. How you think of they match up with the Miami Dolphins and that monstrous trio of receivers they got over there?
It all depends on if Miami lets them punk them. You know what I'm saying? Because if it's just mano a mano and they're allowing the Dolphins to get their offensive line to block, I don't see them hanging with those receivers out there with Miami when they go to Miami. Now, when they go to the Jets, it's a different thing. The only thing that's going to stop Miami this year is Tua. I'm just going to be honest with you. It's Tua. And their defense always seems to get hurt at the wrong times with Miami. They always seem to get people hurt at the wrong time. But if you let Miami get rolling, it's going to be hard to beat Miami this year if they get rolling. Because I see Jalen Waddle eating. I see Tyreek Hill eating. I can even see Odell Beckham eating when he gets back. And then they got another receiver over there that's pretty good too. So, and then you got to stop A-Chain. Then you got to stop Mostert.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, it is what it is. I could say this, if Miami fools themselves and try to run a lot of trick plays and they lose a lot of yardage on those trick plays and stuff like that, then yeah. But if they allow Miami to get rolling, that offense get rolling, they put up 20 points, 25 points against the Jets is on. Especially if they're getting pressure. That Jets team, bro, I think they're going to be good, but man, they are one bad play away from being
finicky, man.
Exactly what they were last year. But I do believe there'll be a very good team as long as that running game is going.
Yeah, I'm with you. Miami is the only team that I believe in that division anyway. I don't believe in Buffalo too much. I just believe in Miami because Miami, they bring back most of their players back, and you know with the continuity and all that stuff. Yeah. And if you really look at it, Miami put up a lot of like 40-point games, like 5 weeks in a row, something like that. They was hanging on points up. It was only injuries that stopped, you know, like that took them down and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? And then the offensive line, that's another thing too. I got to look at the offensive line because they lost Hunt. And I don't know who else they lost or something like that, but the offensive line was their biggest thing that kept them in a lot of, you know, games and stuff like that and allowed them to put points up on the board. You know, there was a good line for pass blocking and run blocking for A-Chain and them guys and stuff like that. So if them line can hold up, hey, I expect them to do the same thing. But like I said, I have more confidence in Miami as far as that, you know, compared to Buffalo.
The thing here too with the Dolphins, that we got to take into consideration when is their defense, man. Their defense, a lot is being made about you know, um skill position players, man. But I mean, they got Calais Campbell on defense. I mean, they got Jalen Phillips. They drafted
Mm-hmm.
Chop Robinson. They got
Mm-hmm.
Mo Kamara. They got Emmanuel Ogba.
Yeah.
Who else they got? They got Kendall Fuller, Jalen Ramsey, in the backfield. They got Jordan Poyer,
From the
Marcus
Bills.
May. Yeah. So Patrick
Shit.
McMorris.
Yeah, I'm telling you, if they don't get injured,
Right, that's what I'm saying.
and
They
they
have
always put up some points, it's gonna be a problem.
Yeah, they got a very, very good team. I did a preview on the AFC East, man. If y'all want to go check that out. So I was looking at this roster. I was like, man, yeah.
Only thing that's gonna stop them is Tua. I'm telling you.
Tua and injuries, man.
Yeah.
Tua and injuries, and I think that coach can get cute at times. Yeah, he gets in his own way at times, trying to be, you know, a mastermind or trying to, you know, reinvent the wheel. Like,
could you imagine CJ Mosley trying to guard A-Chain out the backfield when they catch them in a man? I'm telling you, bro. People, 13, 15 wins for the Jets. Okay.
Yeah,
they might have a problem in their own division because coach is right too. That Patriots defense always seems to play them well. And they mess around and let the Patriots put up 20 points and lose to them, it's over. Their confidence is going to be so shot. And then if they defense can't get the pressure that they were last year and they have to send blitzes, you're going to see what Sauce Gardner and them do.
Yeah.
Because Sauce Gardner and them, they really didn't have to do too much last year because the pressure was so immense with the front four that they had like 7 men in coverage all the time.
And that's what I was saying, Pat. Like, if they can't get pressure, you know what I'm saying, with the front four, because Hassan Reddick ain't there. You see what I'm saying? So if they can't, this is where Reddick is key. Like, you know, if you're gonna just rush with four and play this coverage, you know what I'm saying, with your, you know, Sauce Gardner, these corners you think is great, you better make sure them four guys get home. And I feel a lot better if it was Hassan Reddick on the other side of that. I done seen Jermaine Johnson get locked up too before. He's not a Pro Bowler. You know, and he ain't like one of the top pass rushers in the league. He's good.
He's good,
but he's not
he's
a top.
He's like Aziz, but healthy.
Yeah, but more healthy and consistent. Yeah. But look, Hassan Reddick is key, man. I'm telling you. Jets fans can sweep it under the rug. The media can sweep it under the rug. But Unpopular Opinion Sports is telling you right now, hit that like button. If they don't figure this thing out with Hassan Reddick, the Jets ain't going to be no Super Bowl type contending team this year. They're going to win some games just because they that talented. But they don't. Nope. They'll be more likely what they were last year, like you said, Pat.
If they get a key injury, they'd be what they were last year. But I'll tell you this, I don't see them losing a huge amount of games. I see them around 10-7, maybe 11-6, somewhere around there. But this 49ers game is going to show you a lot because this is a 49ers team that this is where you got to get them. Because once everybody comes back and everybody's happy with the money, it's going to be a problem over there with San Francisco. But if they get blew out by San Francisco, bro, that first game, it could get real ugly for the Jets. I'm telling you.
On the road.
Yo, word up, man. But, man, I want to get into a little baseball here real quick. We're just going to update some of the scores here. Start the Mets in the top of the fifth.
Yes,
3-0 over the D-backs, and the Yankees lose to
ain't they in first place or something like that?
Yeah.
I hate
New
these.
York is crazy. You would think the Yankees are trash the way they talk about the Yankees, but they're in first place.
Yeah, it's the expectations.
They're in first place. They can't get no higher.
No, that's because they lost like about what?
They just got back to first. So yeah, I haven't been going off on the Yankees as of late. They were slipping like real bad, bro. They were they were like in wild card territory. Like
they got out to a big lead, and then all of a sudden they got it. Like
they let the dang on Orioles come back and get back into the race and pass them, and then But this is a bad loss. The Nationals are not a good team, 60-73. And you had your top pitcher on the mound, Garrett Cole. Garrett Cole hasn't looked great since he came back.
Getting smoked.
Yeah, of course. And you got Juan Soto and Arron Judge doing most of the heavy lifting when it comes to hitting. And that is not a good sign. That is not a good sign. You know what I'm saying? Outside of Chisholm and Volpe, and Wells, they're the only ones hitting over 350. Torres has been a major disappointment. They may look to move him at some point, I think.
Yeah,
DJ LeMahieu, it looks like he's just washed. Like he's done. And that's just been it, man. It's just been they've been a little bit of an inconsistent squad compared to what we all expected. Especially coming in here, getting your ace pitcher back. But the Yankees, again, if you're talking about championships and who is the favorites right now, I don't know, man. The Phillies the Dodgers,
The Yankees are the third best record overall in baseball, and they're only a game out.
Their game out of
overall from the overall record.
Yeah, they all have 78 wins and stuff like that.
Yeah, 78-55, and the Dodgers are 78-53, and the Phillies are 78-54.
So they have a 2-game lead over the Cleveland Guardians.
Yep.
I'm just looking at the overall standings because that's the goal. The goal is to get the number 1 seed. So, and then you got to fight off the Astros too, but they got a decent lead on the Astros. I think it's like 5 games. So, I mean, it hasn't been bad, but again, a lot of Yankees fans worry about the Yankees when they get into the playoffs, and that's who I don't mind worried about this regular season crap. I know they're gonna make the playoffs.
Update on the Mets, top of the 5th, bases loaded. I don't think anybody is out. And it's 4-0. It's 4-0.
And the Mets got the bases loaded, or they got the bases loaded against them?
No, the Mets have the bases loaded, top of the 5th.
That game could change real quick with 1 hit.
And yeah, there's nobody out, and they just got a new batter up to the plate.
I think for the Yankees in the playoffs is the pitching, man. That's the thing you got to worry about, the pitching. Supporting cast for hitting too. Those are 2 biggest things.
Pete Alonso is at the plate also.
And the Yankees are 6-10. I mean 6-4 in their last 10. So they're not, like I said, they're not like falling apart. Well, actually, no, they're 5-5 now because they lost tonight. So they're not like falling apart, but you worry, like Man Cave said, about that pitching when it comes to October in the playoffs. And that's my thing. Yep. And you know what? I worry about the hitting too, fellas, because Juan Soto and Arron Judge have been like it. And I'm gonna talk about Arron Judge here in a second. But that's been like it, yo. That's been it. Like a lot of these Yankees players, they are not consistent with their hitting. I remember I remember back in the day, you had 4 or 5 Yankees hitting over 300, or in the 290s or the 270s. You know what I'm saying? Like I just mentioned, so you got 5 guys hitting over 250. Over 250. 250 is supposed to be average. In my MLB, maybe in this MLB is different. You know what I'm saying? But in the old man MLB, it was
oh man, if you hitting 275, 280, people work.
You you know what I'm saying? Like, bro.
That's a lot of people don't understand about baseball. That's how hard it is to hit in baseball. That's only 20%. So that's like that's not even 3 hits out of every 10 at bats. But that you're considered good if you're around 275 to 280. And shoot, if you hitting around 400, man, you considered a demigod.
Right.
Ooh, no, that was outside. Ooh.
Oh, umpires calling the bad.
I can't stand them umpires in baseball. Sometimes they worse than NFL refs. Man, what are you looking at?
Right. I like, man, come on, man. Outside his damn shoelaces. Man.
Right. Man, that almost hit the people in the stands. What are you talking about?
We having pitches that be going down and the catcher like pulls it up and they say it's a strike.
Yeah.
Framing the pitch, yep.
Framing the pitch, right.
But yeah, man, to the Yankees are still in first place. So the Mets, however, hasn't been as favorable. They are 6-4 in their last 10 as well. They are 3 games back of the wild card. The problem for the Mets is the team they're chasing is the Atlanta Braves, and they do not seem to do well against the Braves at all.
They're kryptonite.
It has not been a good showing with the Mets versus the Braves lately. But they're still fighting. They're still fighting for a wild card spot. And I will say this about the Mets. I'm gonna give the Mets some props, man. Shout out to my man, my bro Jeffy T85, man. Salute, man. Miss you, brother. I'm gonna give your Mets some love here. From what the Mets expectations was this year, for everything they did last year. Remember, they pretty much scrapped the whole team, reset the roster.
Right.
And for them to be where they are this year, it's a pretty good job.
Oh, this umpire's trash.
Golly.
I was inside. My bad.
Nah, it's but it's a pretty good job there by the Mets, man, to actually be fighting for a playoff spot where you were last year. You know what I'm saying? So I commend the Mets. Now, are they going to get into the playoffs? I don't know. Like I said, going up against the Braves has been tough. It has not been good for the Mets. But pat yourselves on the backs, Mets fans. You did good, regardless of how this year shakes out. You did good, man. By Heart of the City standards, by Jeffy T. Jeffy would be proud of y'all, man. So, you know what I'm saying? So, I just want to say that about the Mets.
Fly out for a score.
They fly out for a score, and then they ground out to end the inning. So the Mets are up 5-0.
Okay, 5-0, man. So the Mets
going to the bottom of the 5th. Yeah,
the Mets can gain. Let me see. I think they gain a half a game if they.
Did Atlanta play today though?
That's what I'm looking at. If I could find it.
Visor Vegan. This is called Heart of the City. He's talking about all the New York teams.
Yeah. Oh, Atlanta's up in the bottom of the 10th.
Oh yeah, the Braves.
No. Yeah. No. Oh wait.
No. I was talking to John.
Braves already won.
Oh yeah. Nah, you're right. Yeah, they won already. They just
so
won.
if they win, then they're just going to be in the same spot.
Yeah, they just won. So yeah, they don't see. That's what I'm saying. That's the problem with the Mets, man. That's the problem with the Mets, man.
I thought he got him out. What the hell happened?
Yeah, I don't know, man. But that's it for baseball. We'll keep an eye on that Mets game, but I want to get into a little NBA here, and I want to talk about Cam Thomas a little bit here with the Nets. Cam Thomas. This is a report off of Yardbreaker. or Yardbarker. It says, is Cam Thomas on a Devin Booker-like trajectory? And basically saying, how Devin Booker, was able to catch on real quick with the Suns as far as scoring punch. Can Cam Thomas do that same thing this year, given the keys to the offense? Basically, he's going to be it. Can he have a Devin Booker-like season? It says from 2015 to 2017, Booker saw his points per game average jump from 13.8 to 22 points on virtually identical efficiency numbers. Cam Thomas's 2022 to 2024 average climbed from 10.6 to 22.5 points. So almost nearly all the same efficiency numbers when looking at their stats on paper. The comparison is scarily accurate. So that's what they said about Cam Thomas being on a Devin Booker-like trajectory. Now, that's my thing here with the Nets. Is what do these young players look like? What are you going to get from Cam Thomas and Noah Clowney and Nick Claxton?
Mm-hmm.
Cam, look, if Cam Thomas is Devin Booker, I'm happy. You know what I'm saying? So as a Nets fan, I'm happy. Now you have a superstar. Now you have a star. Now you have somebody to, pair with. He's got to prove that on the court this year. And to me, and I'm going to do a breakdown of Cam Thomas for y'all. But to me, it's about A, efficiency, and B, playmaking. He needs to become a better playmaker as far as, and coach, remember, I said this about Caitlin Clark. Caitlin Clark coming out of college. Caitlin Clark is now averaging 5-something assists a game in the WNBA. She's starting to get her teammates involved, and now she's elevating her play in sense. Cam Thomas got to do the same thing. It's not like he's not trying or isn't. You just got to have better court awareness. You got to play under control a little bit more. You got to play within yourself and who you are. That's what I see with Cam Thomas. But as far as him being on a Devin Booker-like trajectory, I want to get you guys' opinion on this because I'm a Nets fan, so maybe I'm being biased. What do you guys think? I gave you the numbers there. What do you guys think about Cam Thomas being on that type of trajectory or whatever? We'll start with you, Cave.
Yeah, I think with Cam Thomas, man, it's like, I always know coming out of LSU, he's a bucket getter. That's what he is, a bucket getter. Not so much of a pure shooter. He's more of a streak shooter, but if he gets hot, what I'm saying, he could be on a roll and stuff like that, and as far as the Devin Booker trajectory, I could see it a little bit, but not to the point of being like, like an all-star, superstar, something like that. But like I said, a good player for, for the Nets that could build around, somebody who wants to be there, somebody who you can depend on, a contributor, because that's what you need. Now, if he can come in this season and he can average like about 20-something points, being efficient and stuff like that and getting other people involved, and that's what you're looking for in a young player. So, I see Cam Thomas, like I said, I always knew he was a bucket getter. Like, everybody in the NBA knows that the dude can get buckets, what I'm saying? It ain't like one of those guys that's like a self-check or somebody like that can't do nothing, what I'm saying? So, he got game, man. So, I think he's going to be one of the guys that the Nets will build around and stuff like that to add to the young pieces that they get, in the future and stuff like that. But like I said, he's more of he's a streak shooter, like I said, but when he gets hot, what I'm saying? And you could ride him to 40 or 50 points in the game or something like that, because that's he'll have those type of games and stuff like that.
Yeah, I agree, man. Cam Thomas has got to prove it. Gotta go out there and prove it on the field. On the court. And the only thing, like I said, I know the kid can score. It's just about being a better overall player. You want to see him especially get better on the defensive end. Offensively, I think he can improve his payment. It's not like the kid can't pass. I mean, you know, he's got to be more court awareness, basketball IQ stuff. But Coach, what's your thoughts on Cam Thomas becoming the next Devin Booker?
It's too early for me to see it right now. But I mean, again, the bottom line, to back up what you're saying, he has to go on the court and he has to prove it. So, real quick, also, I just got to stand corrected in terms of the Mets game. The Mets didn't ground out. I guess it was a foul ball, so they ended up loading the bases and hit by pitcher, and a player walked in. I think they were up 6-0 now. So. But yeah, you know, you said he has to go on the court and he has to prove it. You know, you spoke about his court awareness. You know, all that is true. I mean, we all know that he wants to score. You know, but to really expand your game, I mean, Devin Booker coming into the NBA though, he was known for playing defense. Cam Thomas has never been known for that. So, you know, he definitely has to grow his game beyond just putting the points in the net. You know, he has to, like you said, court awareness. He has to work on helping make his teammates better, you know, getting them better and being a better defender, not being a liability where teams want to attack you defensively. So to put him in the same stratosphere as Booker right now, for me, it's way too early to tell. I mean, I need to see more from his game. You know, for me to even consider him on that level of talent, because you're talking about Devin Booker, who, you know, was just playing in the Olympics and he's considered one of the top players in the NBA. And not to, you know, take anything away from Thomas, but I don't think many look at him in that regard. They just say, okay, he's just going to go out there and try and get you points, but is he helping make his other teammates better? You know, yeah, he'll get you 40 points. But, you know, if you're getting 40 points and y'all are losing and you're not helping the other players, then how are you on that level with Devin Booker?
Right.
This just goes to the development of the NBA player in this day and age, bro. Like this guy here, if you're in a league where you have to be developed on both sides of the ball, he would be an ultimate six-man coming off the bench. You know what I'm saying? I'm looking at his game right now. The dude can score. But that's all he can do. And to be honest with you, when you're playing against teams that really get into playing defense, like if you were playing defense against him back in the day, he would be nullified. And I'm not saying this kid is bad. I think he's a hell of a scorer. But it just goes to the development of the league, man. They don't teach these dudes nothing no more, bro. Just like KG said, bro. Like when the dude from the Timberwolves came out and just said, they didn't have no skill back then. I said, you do know those little pivot moves that you doing, you got that from the dream.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like you don't even really see plays being ran no more in the NBA. It's just ISO. Everything is ISO.
ISO, pick and roll.
Everything is ISO, pick and roll. ISO, pick and roll. There are no plays being ran. You got big man on screens moving out to the 3-point line. NBA is bad, man. I'm not saying it's a bad product because they're smart. They're doing the same thing the NFL is doing. They basically want everybody to score. They want 125 to 120 instead of 79 to 67 games and stuff because the defense and the stuff was played so well. This day and age, man, somebody like him can actually be considered a leader of a team, and this dude's no leader, bro. This dude just scores. That's it. He don't play no defense. He rarely passes the ball.
Yeah, man, that's one of my things too. Is you know, the NBA has a place for pure scores. They do in this era, like you said, Pat. Back in our NBA, no. You coming off the bench.
Yeah, it's like everybody would be Lou Williams back in the day. Like the 6-man off the bench, come in there, fire up some shots, get us some points when our stars are on the bench. hold the fort and score some points.
Mm-hmm.
When our stars on the bench, like that's how I would have somebody like Cam Thomas on my team, and a lot of people, oh, you're so stupid. I'm telling you, a championship winning team, that dude's coming off the bench, and he's the guy that comes in to fire up those points to get you a quick 10 to 15.
Remember,
points.
Vinny the microwave?
Yeah, that's what he would be.
Mm-hmm.
That's exactly what he would be. And that's a great person to have on your team if he's coming off the bench. But Devin Booker, he's no leader of a team. I'm sorry, he's not. He can score some points, and he actually plays defense. But he's no leader of a team.
All right.
Hell, even our top stars today, even Kevin Durant and them, I think, will have issues back in the day.
Kevin Durant, damn sure ain't no leader of a team.
You know what I'm saying? Like
at all. Name a
get
team he been on. He been a leader of. Name.
You really think Jokic would dominate those big men back in the day? I
Hell
don't think
no.
he would.
Hell no.
I think he would have a tough time.
Embiid would have a problem. Yes.
Yeah, Embiid.
Imagine him going against Alonzo Mourning, Patrick Ewing.
It wouldn't even have to be
David Robinson,
it would be like
bro.
Somebody like Sabonis. Sabonis would eat Jokic alive.
You know what I'm saying? Rick Smith's boy. I do was under
them Davis boys would have ate them alive. If Jokic and them ain't hitting threes all game long, it's a wrap. They're not physical enough. Could you imagine Shaq in this league? Oh my God. 50 every night.
Prime Shaq.
Every night. Yeah, prime Shaq.
Not Miami Shaq. Prime Shaq.
Even Miami Shaq.
It was
Finally, they're out 8-0.
It's just weird. I think Scottie Pippen will be a ultimate star in this league. The fundamentals are gone. That's why KG got so mad when Ant-Man said that. He said, "What? We didn't have no skill." The only way Cam Thomas would be on the winning team is if you have a point guard that's a literal point guard. You don't even have point guards no more in the league like that anymore. To be honest with you.
What did you just say?
Yeah, if you had a legit point guard on the team, say like old school Chris Paul, he would be a monster with old school Chris Paul.
I need Leaf in the building now. You asked for the link earlier, Leaf. I need you in the building now. Pat has just confirmed what I've been telling you, Net fans.
Yeah,
we need a point guard.
Yeah, you have no point guard. That's what I do. That's why Cam Thomas is playing.
They want Cam Thomas to become the point guard, though. That's what I'm hearing from these Nets fans.
And
I disagree.
That's the problem with today's game. I mean, as much as I love Brunson has point guard skills and he understands, so he knows how to facilitate. But he's not. I mean, he's more of a scoring lead guard, to be brutally honest. But that's what this game has. Even Steph Curry is a scoring lead guard.
But they can facilitate. They're making other players around them better. That's where Cam Thomas. If you're gonna make Cam Thomas that type of guard, you know what I'm saying, and he can handle the basketball, that's not an issue. If you're gonna make him that type of guard, he needs to understand that it can't be about me getting buckets all the time. I got to set teammates up. You got to learn how to set teammates up. You got to learn when guys are cutting, how they cut, where they like the basketball at. You know, it's a bounce pass or a chest pass or an alley-oop or whatever. You got to learn your teammates, bro.
Go ahead, Pat. Go ahead.
I was going to say, you want to know one thing that I know why these players will struggle against those older teams? They have no mid-range game in the game no more. You know what I'm saying? Because back then you had to have you had to have a monster mid-range game in the game if you wanted to put up points like that, like how Jordan was putting up. Because only reason why these dudes are surviving because there's no more hand check. And you had strong guards back in the game in the day where they can hand check you and force you to go a certain way.
Mark Jackson, bro. Mark Jackson was one of the most physical point guards in the league back then, bro. They hated playing him, bro.
Yeah, first and foremost, all that dribbling shit. When you playing against people like Dumars and them, you giving them the game.
Gary Payton, like, bro,
because you're not gonna do all that shake shit and then get up there and just hit threes like that all day. You're not gonna be able to do that back in the day because they were able to get up on you and put a hand check on you and force you to go where they wanted you to go if you weren't strong enough. We're talking about defense, Vinny G. Mark Jackson actually had a decent jumper.
Yeah.
His
defense
when he first came with the Knicks, no, he could shoot, bro.
He could shoot.
Yeah,
he could shoot. But when he got older, you know what he did? This dude was so smart. Man, Mark Jackson was my favorite players, man.
Mark Jackson was a straight dude out there, like a brother on the court.
Back you
telling
down.
you, bro.
Yeah,
exactly, bro. He would a little point guard, bro. Like, he's one of the first point guards I seen play in the post like that. That dude would take you in the post.
But that's why they put the rule. That's why they put the rule. That's why they put that rule in about you got XYZ seconds with you backing them down because of him and Barkley. Because they both used to do the same thing.
Just back you down the whole way through.
Exactly. Exactly.
And these guards today don't have no mid-range. Even Curry to this day doesn't have a mid-range like that. If you really want to get technical with it.
That's why I say what I say about the WNBA. The women are more fundamentally sound. They do work on the mid-range game along with the deep game, along with cutting and so on. And to both your points as far as the cutting, because what I say is they took the Ivy League out of basketball. And if you really understand what I'm saying, the Princeton back cut was usually so deadly back in the day. You don't see that anymore. Bring guys to the high post and then cut off of the backside.
The Celtics used to do that to perfection, bro. Man,
who else used to do that shit to perfection? Motherfucking Jazz.
Yeah,
Jazz would eat today, bro. Karl Malone would eat today. People don't know how good that dude. Him as a person is pretty much ass. But Karl Malone's game. Oh, could you imagine David Robinson today?
Man, what's good?
Oh my
Mosley.
goodness.
Yeah, exactly. But
absolute eat.
But that's the problem with today's game, and it's you got the ESPN-itis, as I like to say sometimes. Everybody wants to get on ESPN, dun. Well, they don't do that anymore. I'm sorry, but whatever. You want the highlights because they're gonna really amp up your highlights. But you know what? You amp up my highlights, but you know what? You lost. Or you're not playing fundamentally sound basketball. Where it's taking the beauty out of the game. So and that's the thing. Yeah, Ant-Man, you're shooting threes or you're taking it to the lane and you're dunking over somebody. And I'm not saying that's not nice at times. We all love that. But like Pat said, what about the mid-range? There's too many guys that I've seen in the mid-range who are open, and that's the other thing. Guys are not finding the open guys. They're not, and their basketball IQ is not there.
That's what I was saying, Coach. That basketball IQ, because you have to, you gotta know, you gotta be aware on the court. Like you had guys like John Stockton, Pete Maravich, Magic Johnson. They used to do these no-look passes. How you do a no-look pass? Because you on point with where your teammate's gonna be. Where they're gonna be. That is chemistry, man. You know what I'm saying? That you cannot in basketball, bro. I'm telling you, this is a game I play. You guys play football. I played this shit, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you're not on the page with your teammates, your team is gonna be garbage. Look at the Suns, bro. Look at the Suns. Me and Pat was literally watching the Suns when we was in Detroit. Like, these dudes are trash.
I love this comment by Drew. I mean, and because when I came up in high school, there was no 3-point shot, and guys was getting points and getting buckets, and you go all the way back. Could you imagine if those guys had the 3-point shot? Like, we're talking about, these guys with all these points. Well, a lot of these guys would have done the same thing, but they also worked on their mid-range game. Yeah. They knew sometimes, somebody's coming flying by, take a dribble, step in, get closer, and make your shot a little bit easier.
And that's how Jordan and Kobe Bryant extended their career, because they developed the mid-range game. When they lost a little bit of athleticism, guess what? You're not finna stop me. I'm just gonna pull up and shoot.
Exactly.
You know about this, bro. Most of these dudes don't know how to get to a spot on the court and shoot.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
You remember dudes like Brandon Roy, Allen Houston.
My all-time.
Right.
They knew how to get to a spot on the court. Like,
Mm-hmm.
okay, I'm gonna get to the spot no matter if two dudes come over here. If I get to the spot and rise up, they ain't gonna be able to block it. Or I'm going against somebody, or a double team is coming. Okay, I know this double team is coming from the left, so I'm gonna span to the right, hurry up and shoot and get this bucket real quick. Like LeBron don't even know how to do that.
Yeah,
he don't know how to do that. When you look at his game, it's bull rush or a quick three, or sometimes he'll back somebody down, do a turnaround shot and hit. And I don't know why he don't do that more often, because he would be the most dominant motherfucker ever if he had a back to the basket game like that. Like, these dudes don't know how to slow the game down. That's why the Warriors went off. Instead of everybody being like, okay, we're gonna find a way to stop that stuff to keep y'all from freaking running up and down the court hitting threes all damn game. Oh, we're gonna try to do the same thing. You can't do it as good as them.
You know what also hurts though is this positionless type of basketball.
Oh man, I can't. Bro.
Yeah, the center has really been taken out of the game. And which is forcing centers to go out to the three. And I'm not saying at time if you have a shot, but which goes to the mid range games. Akeem Olajuwon, probably one of the greatest scoring centers most athletic that you will ever see. He could take you off the dribble, he can shoot the mid range, and he could back you down, play with his back to the basket. Guys don't know how to play with back to the basket anymore, which also means guys don't know how to defend players when their back is to the basket. It's a problem. Which the positionless, which I understand, the wing and so on and so forth, but it's like, you know what? I always go 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. That's what it's supposed to be. The 5, and sometimes some forwards are going to be the ones that are going to play with their back to the basket more often than not. And then you have your wings. I get because of the 3-point shot, so power forwards aren't going. It's their stretch fours now. And getting into stretch 5 or stretch bigs. Okay, you want to say that? Yeah, I agree with you there.
They made the NBA into NBA 2K. That's what they did. It made the NBA into NBA 2K, the video game. Could you imagine how much of a monster David Robinson would be in the league? Not only was he faster than you, he was stronger than you, and he had a bag better than you. Jokic is not running up and down the court with David Robinson. Jokic is not being stronger than David Robinson in the post.
Remember when they had Robinson and Duncan? I was like,
that's why they got a ring, right?
Yeah, we remember '99. We remember.
I know y'all Knicks fans remember. Yeah, bro. Like that was.
We can't do it. But one of them two.
And that was an old David Robinson. The young David Robinson.
I remember David Robinson in Navy. Trust and believe. Yes.
Yeah.
Oh my God! Could you imagine that dude playing today? Not only can he run with the dudes today, he's stronger than the dudes today.
That dude was buff. Pause. Yeah.
Man, what? That dude was a monster.
And he could play. And he could play defense. Bro. He could literally guard every
he would
position.
Lock these dudes up today because they ain't got no moves.
Nope.
But, hey, basketball changed when back in the day it was like a 2-on-1 or a 3-on-1 that automatically meant everybody going towards the basket.
Yeah.
You got two dudes
now
running
it's
to the
flaring
three
out. Now it's flaring out.
Exactly. It's crazy.
Control down. I'm like, you got to be kidding me. Get the easy 2 points.
Take the easy 2 points. You want to get a 3-point? Make them foul you, and then go to the free throw line. And that because my coach used to always say that. Taking it to the lane, scoring a basket, and then getting them to foul, you're doing more damage that way than anything else.
Because you want free throws.
Right.
Free shots are easier than contested shots, fellas. You know what I'm saying? So
you got Draymond Green in this league being an enforcer. And I like Draymond. But if Draymond was playing back in the day with them dudes, Draymond wouldn't even be
He was
playing.
playing with Mason and Oakley. And
Yeah, thank you. He would not be. He would not be an enforcer. Yeah, exactly.
He would be the 10th man on the bench.
They smack him upside his head and say, "Sit down and shut up." Rasheed Wallace. Yeah,
right.
Hey, you saw that thing when he noticed who he was talking to with Ron Artest, right? When he turned around and saw Ron Artest, he stopped what he was doing.
Yeah, because Ron Artest is just as loony as he is. He's loony.
He said, "This dude is crazier than me."
That dude broke Jordan's ribs, bro, when he was a rookie. Broke Jordan's ribs because he was playing that physical as hell.
Ron Artest is crazy, man. That dude,
crazy,
man,
crazy, bro.
Man.
I still remember the Malice at the Palace. My boy was just laying on the scores table, and some dumbass wanted to hit him with a watch.
And what's so messed up about it, Coach? You went up there and whooped the wrong dude.
Yeah, I know.
Wait a minute, it wasn't. What did I do? Pow! Right, and you know that dude. That dude hit you. It is wrong.
Queensbridge, yep, work better,
yeah, you know, He went to St. John's, didn't he?
Yeah, yep, St. John's.
You know who else would eat in this era from back then? Clyde Drexler.
Clyde, yeah.
Clyde would eat in this era, bro,
and he could shoot. He developed the jump shot when he got a little bit.
And they act like the dudes from back in the day want to develop the 3-point shot. Like Jordan, then when they wanted to hit threes, they hit threes.
Mm-hmm.
It just wasn't the game back then. Man, I'm telling you, bro. You put that and you can't hand check Jordan.
Bro.
He's able to do whatever he wants to do on the court.
I'm gonna give you a name right now who would be considered almost elite in this time frame, but back then he was okay. Craig Elo.
Yeah.
Was it Craig Elo or Elo? I don't remember. It was Elo from Cleveland.
Elo.
Yeah. The one Jordan hit the shot over. Yeah.
Dr. J. Dr. J would dominate now too. Yeah, I admit it.
What's the dude from the Suns? That the white dude that was
Dan Marley.
Dan Marley would eat today.
Dan Marley.
Tom Chambers,
Danny Ainge.
What's his name from who was with the Cavaliers with Mark Doherty, the point guard?
Price.
But yeah, Mark Price.
Mark Price will eat today.
Because they were fundamentally sound too. That's the problem, and some of it I do also blame on the college game, one and done and all this and that, but you're not taught, the fundamentals in college anymore, which goes back to what I said about losing the Ivy League game. A lot of, the Ivy Leagues do all right, but they don't have the talent. But the philosophies, man, I'm telling you that because I remember when Princeton was playing Georgetown and they were killing Georgetown.
I remember
they
that.
were killing them.
Backdoor.
Yes, that backdoor was there all the time. And it just, you don't see that anymore. You don't, and it's there. I mean, but everybody wants to 5 out and spread the floor and whatever. Okay. But where's the cutting? Where's the movement? Where's the, guys really moving the way you're supposed to, going from one side to the other, making the ball rotate the way it's supposed to do to really get the open shots, or somebody cutting from the backside to get them an easy layup. It's not there.
Could you imagine Tracy McGrady today? Oh my goodness.
Penny Hardaway.
Penny Hardaway would look like Magic Johnson today.
Exactly. When he first came out of Memphis,
because he was 6'8", 6'9".
Injuries is the only thing that stopped him.
That stopped him from being dominant in the league back then.
Tracy McGrady.
Give me the Rain Man. I'm sorry. I'll take the Rain Man.
Sean
the Rain Man would eat today.
Yes.
Sam Perkins would eat today.
Oh my gosh. Sam Perkins. Wow. Yeah, I remember him coming out of Carolina.
Wake me up when it's over, Perkins.
Deadlift Shrimp. All those dudes.
Deadlift Shrimp, boy.
All those dudes that were considered mid will probably average 20 to 24 points. In this game today.
Because
Chris Muller will average 25.
Oh, Chris, now that was an elite shooter. I'm sorry. That was probably one of the most elite shooters. I used to watch him at St. John's with him, Mark Jackson, Walter Berry, them boys. Oh my gosh, man. That team, Bill Weddington, man. Oh yes. The real Big East. The real one. I'm sorry, NYG.
I know.
That was the real one. That was
what's the dude's name from the Wizards? They called the Hibachi. What's his name? He got a show now.
It's Tommy Brown.
No.
What's his name? Who's going with
Gilbert Arenas?
Gilbert Arenas.
Yeah. Bought the pistol in the goddamn locker room.
Oh my goodness!
Yeah, Syracuse. Derek Coleman. Yeah.
If you watch Gilbert Arenas' game before he hurt his knee.
He was nice.
If he was prime Gilbert Arenas in the game today, oh my goodness, at least 40.
Drew, I'm going to say this: he's going to change the game because they can't guard him. He's just too big. He would be a liability in trying to guard guys, but I'll take the percentages there because how many threes are they going to hit? On a consistent basis. So if they're putting up 10 threes, yeah, if they're shooting 2 to 3, but you put Shaq down low and let him just bully his way down, he's easily going to score 50 points a game.
To go out there to try to hit threes all game long, trying to guard Shaq.
But see, that's when the NBA changed because they used to guard you like that. But nowadays, these guys flop so much that they took away those guys posting up and getting offensive fouls because they kept flopping. Every time
old school Shaq would make all these centers quit today.
Yeah, he's too strong. He would just totally bully you. I mean, literally, you would just basically have a rag doll on some of these guys. Don't forget when Shaq brought down how many stanchions? I mean, that right there alone is enough.
Every game.
That scares him, Daryl Dawkins. Daryl Dawkins used to do that on a regular basis. Exactly. They would foul out. They would definitely foul out. So, Shaq today playing the game, nah. I mean, they wouldn't call him Superman for nothing, man.
And y'all act like Shaq couldn't move.
No, he can move.
Shaq with the Orlando Magic and early Lakers Shaq, that dude could move. Run up and down the court.
Running up down the lane, and there's nobody going to get in his way. They're not going to take a charge because you're going to get a knee to the chest, and once you get that knee in the chest, your head is going to end up on the back stanchion, and you're going to be carried out on a stretcher.
Dudes wasn't taking charges on Shaq.
Those dudes would literally have to hit 60 to 70% of their threes.
Yes,
and that's not happening. Those big dudes are shooting 30% at best.
What did you say about the fantasy draft?
Mm-hmm. We were live, Diella.
I thought you was on the stream.
Diella, you was killing us in that damn draft.
You was concentrating on that draft.
But we'll be updating it every week, Diella. But yeah, we.
you think these centers today are hitting 50% of their threes? No,
hell no.
They will be missing those threes, and guess what? 2 points.
Now you said center. You said center. I'm sorry. Wemby guarding Shaq?
Oh, nah.
Now, Wemby could dribble and he could shoot the threes, but I'm telling you, Shaq will just physical. And see, that's the thing. You have to physically guard him, which is going to take away from your offense.
Mm-hmm.
Facts, because you're going to be so tired guarding him. You're not even going to be on the court because you're going to have 3 fouls in the first quarter.
Hell, forget all that, Pat. You're going to be so sore. From taking a damn beat, and Shaq is just gonna hook his elbow right into your your ribs. You're not gonna be able to extend to shoot a 3-pointer.
And you're not hitting threes every time you come down the court. So every time you miss, you're gonna go right back down there and score. Every time you miss, you're gonna go right back down there and score because you can't stop him from getting his points.
That's the thing. Shaq would get 50 points on most of these quote unquote centers today.
You got Rudy Gobert as defensive player of the
That is ridiculous, bro.
Come on, man. That dude would eat Rudy Gobert's lunch. You know how strong freaking Shaq and them dudes were back in the day? Shit, Karl Malone would be the same way.
bruh.
Yeah, Karl Malone was.
The big ass elbows going into your ribs trying to get the rebound. Man, them dudes would pass out.
That's that. You made a great point though when Ant tossed that trash and we didn't even talk about Kevin Garnett playing in today's game.
Rasheed Wallace.
Kevin Garnett could play down with his back to the basket and still go out and shoot the threes. And then turn around and defend you. Rasheed Wallace, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I was gonna say Rasheed Wallace would be an instant Hall of Famer in this league today.
Ball don't lie.
Man, listen,
Tim
I
Duncan
all day about this league. Man,
what's his name? Rick is it Rick Mahorn? Rick Mahorn would be a good. But he would be a good player right now. Think about that.
He was the enforcer back.
Man, Dale Davis will average a double in this league today.
Dale Davis and what's the other one? The other
Antonio.
Because it's not like those dudes couldn't run. They had like those dudes back in the day couldn't run. No, those dudes were athletes too.
They were athletic. No, they were athletic.
They're definitely more athletic than Jokic.
Yeah.
And Embiid. Them dudes ain't running up down the court like that. Only dude that you can really say that is the Greek Freak. That's it. And you know another thing, Coach? The players back in the day didn't get to travel the way these dudes get to travel today.
Man, right, yo, they all walk.
James Harden wouldn't have got a point. This dude hops back 4 times before he shoots the ball. Like, man, well, damn, of course he got created the space. He took 5 steps.
Yeah,
exactly.
Of course he did.
Yeah, because they do that jump hop to get a shot off. You know, they jump hop to get a shot off.
On some bullshit.
That's crazy. They're more only dude that they say that could actually make that statement is Kyrie Irving. Now that dude's the most skilled I've ever seen play the guard position when it came to just actual skill and finishing around the basket and stuff. But even he would have an issue back in the day because the hand check.
Kyrie is the one who could shoot the 3, but Kenny Anderson's handle is just as elite as his. I'm sorry. You talk about Kenny Anderson
was a monster.
And what's his name?
Don't forget about Rod Strickland.
Rod Strickland. Yep, that's what I was thinking about. Yeah. So the in terms of handle, look, Dwayne the Pearl Washington. His handle when he was at Syracuse and coming into the league was, you would look at him like, how could that dude, because he was thickly built, but he had that handle. He had the crossover between the legs, and he would take you to the rim. So yeah, Kyrie, his handle. Everybody talks about how elite his handle is, but I'm like, when I look at him, I'm like, bro, I can sit back and I'll go back in the day, but I forget I'm older than y'all. So it's like I've seen some ball handle. Shout out to New York City, to the Blacktops in New York City. That's where it's learned.
Yeah, so, I already know.
So and you usually said that's where the point guards were developed back in the day on the Blacktops in New York City. So it's Kyrie. He has some nasty handle, but I think his 3-point shooter is what gets him over a lot of the older.
Because Coach, you gotta say Kenny Anderson was the best high school point guard I've ever.
Another dude that would eat in this league today, and people forget about Tyrone Corbin.
Tyrone Corbin from the Jazz.
Oh yeah,
the black hole.
Yeah,
the man who broke down the black hole on the movie.
Yo, that was a scary looking dude, man. Pause.
I'll give Steph. I'll give Steph respect, definitely. I mean, he's also the one that I love when he brought what I call football to basketball, because he was the only one that would come down the lane and put both hands on the ball to protect it so you wouldn't swipe it and then go and lay up over you. So, because when I started seeing him do that, I was just like, damn, that's smart. It's literally football.
Another dude that would have ate if he was in his prime during this time, motherfucking ISO Joe.
Yeah.
Joe Johnson was a monster, bro.
New Jersey.
ISO Joe,
Nets.
man,
Former
ISO
Net.
Joe
I
was
forgot
that
about
dude.
Tim Hardaway handle too. Yeah, Tim Hardaway's handle was nasty. But yeah, ISO Joe was shit. He was killing it in the 3-on-3.
Man, ISO Joe could have played back then.
Mm-hmm.
The way his footwork and everything was, those are the dudes that aren't appreciated.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Because to be honest, that dude's a Hall of Famer. Now I don't know if they're gonna let him in there, but ISO Joe was a monster, bro. And they messed that Nets team up bringing all them dudes over there.
Yeah, Joe was doing good with the Atlanta Hawks, and then he got left or something like that. Because
ISO Joe was a monster, way more skilled than what people give him credit for, and strong as an ox. Man, people, man.
Look, here's one I'll give you that would definitely feast in today's game. Kevin McHale.
Yeah.
His footwork and his up and under. Oh my gosh.
Imagine Bill Walton in this game.
Yeah, when he was first. Yes, you're so right. That's the thing that good one, Diella. Vernon Maxwell.
Yeah.
Vernon Maxwell, bro.
Mad Max,
bro.
Yes. Yes.
He was just in the era where he had to go against people like Jordan, people like that every damn night. Imagine how hard that is.
I'm telling you, man. I'm gonna give you one of my underrated player. I'm thinking about previewing him, but and he's a former Knick, actually. Somebody that I actually like watching them play, very underrated player, and that's Derek Harper.
Yeah,
Derek Harper could lock dudes down on defense, bro. I seen it, man. I seen it. This dude was very, very crafty, man, and he had the impact on the Knicks because remember the Knicks got to the finals when they got Derek Harper. He had the same impact that I think Jalen Brunson is having right now in the Knicks. When the Knicks get a decent point guard, it can take them to another level, and that's what I'm talking about with the Nets. You point like people always talk about the quarterback in the NFL. The quarterback is, like Pat says, depending on all these other positions. The point guard brings the ball up, handles the ball, and he's the one getting everybody else involved. He has the responsibility of setting up the offense, and of course, in basketball, you have to play both ends of the court. So Derek Harper could get it done on both ends, defensively and offensively, and it was a breath of fresh air for Patrick Ewing and not only have Starks, but then Derek Harper and Hubert Davis and some of these outside shooters to kick it out to during those final days. So the importance of a point guard, I'm telling you, people don't understand.
Here's a position player who could really be a point guard, even though he was a big forward. And now he wasn't a top scorer, but I think in today's game he would, and he doesn't even need to shoot the three. And that's Anthony Mason, because Mason will take you to the hole.
He was a point forward.
He was a point forward. He could play with his back to the basket.
Him and Scottie Pippen was one of the two first point forwards I seen in the NBA in my era. Now maybe back in the day, there's some other cats, but
NYG, how you forget about Grant Hill?
Grant Hill, but like
the Pistons, they bring offense through him.
Yeah, but you
Detroit,
gotta remember
Grant Hill.
Grant Hill has some injuries and some things going on too. So Grant Hill's career, two players whose career got really ruined, and I hate it. I don't really get caught up in that, but like as a fan, I really wanted to see what these guys could have did with a full career without injuries, and that's Grant Hill and Penny Hardaway.
Right.
Like I
Brandon Roy to that.
Brandon Roy, absolutely. You know what I'm saying? So it sucked for Grant Hill, but you're right. Yeah, he was a better point forward than Scottie Pippen and Anthony Mason. Those guys were just big guys that could bring up, particularly Mason, they could just bring the ball up, and basically they were just gonna like pass it off to somebody, once they got it up the court.
My point about Mason also was not just on the offensive end, but he'll go lock down 1 through 5 on the defensive end.
Yeah, facts.
So that's where I was going with that. So his level of game, and he could play out on the wing as well as guard. He could guard Shaq down on the post. So you think, because he was strong enough. He was strong enough. So it's like, when you think about that, that's why I'm saying, guys, today you don't see players like that anymore. You don't. So it's either, I can shoot the three, or pick and roll like you were saying earlier, and shoot and give the alley-oop for someone dunking, because you want to get the highlights on the sports programming, where now it's about playing pure basketball, working, spreading, moving the ball, cutting, everyone. In those crunch moments, you want your superstar to take over and dominate and win the game. Yes. But during the course of the game, does that superstar also help others, or open up the floor so others can also contribute? So damn you, John Starks. I love you, bro, but damn against Houston.
I know.
Bro. So we used to do this thing on this show called the culture segment, man. So I'm gonna bring that back, and then we're gonna get in the coach's corner and we're gonna wrap up. But we're gonna play a little bit of a little bit of a game here. I like to call it. So I got my bros on the panel. If y'all want to hang out for a few minutes, man, and let's try this game out. I promise you it'll be better than the one I put out there Sunday. So, but as part of our coaching segment, and this is something me and Coach had worked on, man, to just bring more of a real energy to the show. Like we real people, we talk sports, man, but we love other things too. But in this particular game, I'm gonna try to keep it more sports related. So without further ado, welcome to NYC Culture, man. Let's get it. Yeah. So let's get into it, man. We doing a little bit of NYC Wheel of Fortune, man. Do a little NYC Wheel of Fortune for y'all today. So how this is gonna work? It's basically like Wheel of Fortune. Pick letters, and we're gonna have a theme. Let's get some music going on here. All right. So categories. Let's see. Hold on. Spin it here a little bit. So round one. Former New York Yankee. All right. We're going to set it off with Coach. Coach, give me a letter, man. Let's go.
Always got to start with either 2 letters. I'm going to start with an S.
S. All right. Let's see. Where's my points at? Wait a minute. Where is letters at? Oh, you got to spin. That's right.
Oh, all right. You know what?
That's
I guarantee you.
That's what I.
You
that's
know what? I already know
right.
who it is. But all right, let's go. I already know who it is.
All right, you know who it is. All right. Let's go. 200. Guess a letter. You said what? S?
No. Don't go with the S. Don't. Yeah. No. Give me a W.
W. Interesting.
Exactly, Dale. Oh, wow.
Sucker.
All right, you got me now. Because me and Dale said the same thing.
All right, man cave. Do you know it or you want to spin?
I'm gonna spin.
All right. Smart man. Bankrupt. You're out of here.
Yes, sir.
Ain't got no money anyway, so. Pat.
No, I got to spin. I don't know no damn Yankees.
700. Guess a
He's
letter.
trying to say I'm trying to count on the phone.
S.
Oh, man.
Yeah. I got y'all with this one. Coach.
Spin it.
All right. 400.
Give me a T.
T.
Yeah, I already know who it is.
There are 2 T's. Uh-oh.
Oh my God! What are the Mets doing?
Oh, why did you do that to me? Spin.
100.
Damn, it's 8-3 now.
Yeah.
How much did you say it was?
That's 100.
Give me a H.
H. Oh.
I already know who it is.
Cave. It's on you. Spin us off.
If I solve, how many points I get?
You ain't got nothing.
Oh, then let me spin then.
All right.
Oh yeah, you're right. That's it.
200.
200. Let me get a M as in Mary.
M.
Should have went with
There's
the N.
one M.
Should have went with the N. You would have got more.
I
know
who it is.
Yeah.
I know who it is.
Does he spin
Remember,
or does he
Coach has
get?
800. You got 2. So
I already know what I'm gonna just solve it.
you want to solve it? All right.
Yeah,
What you got?
it's Tino Martinez.
Yeah.
Tino Martinez is correct.
Yeah. Yeah, you got that one on.
All right. We got a little 3-rounder here. This one's gonna be good. Former Brooklyn Net and New York Knick. Woo! Man cave, it's on you. You won the round.
All right, let's spin. Let's see what it is.
All right.
Now, don't guess in the chat because if you know it, keep it to yourself in the chat.
Yeah. No cheating.
Yeah, we know. We can see you, dealer.
All right, let's go with an A.
A. You can't buy a vowel. Yeah.
Oh,
You have to
all right,
consonants.
let me get a I'm gonna say a R.
A R. There's one R. Bing.
All right. Spin again.
Oh my gosh, the Nets.
600.
600.
Yeah. What you
Man,
gonna do?
Let me get a N as in Nancy.
N. Big Pat. You on deck, bro?
No, I gotta spin. I don't know y'all do. Chicago Bull. I would have guessed it without the letter.
600.
Dang.
600. That's a lot of money too.
Let me get a S.
A S?
Mm-hmm.
2 S's. Oh shit. Son. Ooh. 1200.
Damn. Well, 100.
You gotta spin again.
Mm-hmm.
Or buy a vowel.
Yeah, I should have bought a vowel. That's
400.
Wheel of Fortune in a minute.
All right, I'm gonna get y'all used to it.
Let me get a D.
A D. Ooh, 1D. Oh, 1600. What you gonna do, Pat?
Buy a vowel.
Big money.
Big money. Where you want?
E.
E?
Mm-hmm. Oh man.
Spin it.
I already know, Coach already know.
Yeah.
I know Coach knows it.
Just gonna bankrupt my ass.
400.
Give me a C.
C. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I know it.
Oh man. Are you serious?
I'm gonna solve it. I'm not gonna risk it. Chris
around.
Childs.
Chris
Yeah.
Childs, correct. Yeah.
I forgot Chris Childs played with the Nets for
Yeah.
I think
He
he
played
played
with
for
the
like
Nets,
2
and he
years.
went to the Knicks, and then he went back to the Nets. Chris Childs.
That's the dude that hit
Kobe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He don't play. He ain't play.
It was tough. All right. New York City fashion, man. We adding to the culture segment here, man. I love this shit, man. Coach, it's on you.
Spin it.
$200.
I'm always start with an S. I gotta start with the S.
S.
What?
Yep.
Right.
Spin. Spin.
$200.
Give me a T.
T. Good answer. There's 1 T.
What?
Be kidding me. Spin.
All right.
M as in Mary.
Oh man, what the hell?
He cooking. Uh-oh.
I keep spinning. I don't know what this is.
Can you close that down for a second? I want to look at the board.
Sure.
I know what it is. I can't think of the whole thing.
All right, so spin.
That music is epic.
Give me an N like Nancy.
And oh, he's getting close. He's warming up. You might not have a chance, man, Cave.
I know.
Spin.
Well, I know there's a couple of letters in there.
Give me a D.
3 Ds, pause.
I'm gonna buy a vowel. Give me an A.
Hey, we cooking with grease now.
I gotta get out to New York more.
Let me give it another vowel.
I know. I don't know.
Give me an I.
Ah, 2 eyes.
Oh,
Spin. Spin.
Oh my gosh.
Look at the category.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Give me a B.
B.
Yeah, I know the last word too, but dealer.
I know. Me too. I know.
You all know that one. Spin. I'm just trying to get that top one. Give me an L.
These big numbers.
He racking up, boy.
He racking up.
Come on, I got that. Oh my God.
I know we all know
Spin.
Oh my gosh. Man cave spin, but you gonna get this one, man cave, because I'm gonna blow it. Watch.
Like at the beginning.
Oh,
See?
Oh, cave.
Okay.
You don't got no bread, remember?
I'm gonna spin. I gotta spin.
All right, come on. 200.
All right. You get it. E.
Can't buy a vowel.
Can't buy a vowel.
No.
Okay.
All right.
What is that word?
You get the R.
R. Yeah.
I knew it was only gonna be one arm.
I know it's gonna be one R. All right, spin.
Yeah, we don't know what that one word is up top.
One word, yeah. Undie.
All right. Damn. All right, let me go with the Let me go with the H.
H. Think you got it.
I know it. I'm gonna solve it.
What is it?
A hoodie and Timberlands.
Yeah, buddy.
I knew it too. I was hoping he messed up.
Yeah, boy.
I've been to with the whole thing. I just didn't know what the first one was. I knew the last one.
Oh, still one.
You gotta be mindful of the points you had. I knew you should have kept going.
Yeah, you got to rack
in that first round. You only got 200 in that second round.
You said I was on TV.
Yeah, you got to rack up them points, man.
Yeah. But coach, 2,800.
TP, I would love to have you on the show, man. Diella, any of you guys want to come on the show and play this game? You don't have to be on the panel. I'll open up the link when I'm playing trivia games like this, man, and you guys can come on and just be guests on the game show. That'd be pretty cool, I think. But yeah, man, I'm gonna start putting more of these out. They're pretty fun, man. I like it, man.
Mm-hmm.
I like stumping these guys, man.
I gotta ask you a question after the show, NYG.
All right, you got it, bro.
Mm-hmm. If I had said that H,
yeah,
I would have bought the E.
I knew once
then I would have got it.
He was gonna get it.
Yeah.
I was like, it's either H or P.
Right. I should have just bought the damn vowels. That's what
you should have done.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Yep.
Because that E would have gave it away.
You had the bread to do it. Yeah. You should have just bought all the vowels.
Yeah, when he said you can't buy a vowel, I was like, huh?
Yeah, you ain't had no bread. You should have kept buying letters to get your money up and shit. That's what you messed
Well,
up.
you only had the H because the rest were vowels.
Right. The O's I could was like
true. It was 2 O's in a
The O's and the E would have gave it away.
Yeah, man. Yeah, we do our best, man. We do our best over here. Try to be original, man. Give you guys some different content, original content. And I don't know. I like doing stuff like this, man. I hope you guys like it. Seems like you do. So if you do, I'll continue the segment, man. Bring a little fun to the show, man. But we're gonna get into Coach's Corner, man. That is our final segment of the night, man. It's been an excellent show, man. I know Coach is going to take us out with some fire. Get it, Coach.
All right, guys. I appreciate y'all. Thank you, everyone, for being a part of this. Welcome to Coach's Corner. I'm going to take it out and talk about some of the things that I'm passionate about: college sports, women's sports. And right now, I'm just going to focus on those right now to take us out of here. So first thing I'm going to do is what I've always been doing, talking about the women's sports. And the first thing I want to do in terms of the WNBA is I want to say congratulations to Miss Tina Charles, former New York Liberty. She becomes the number 2 all-time scorer in WNBA history, as she passed Tina Thompson. She's been in this league for a good while. She now, when she broke the record, she ended the evening at 7,479 points. Now it's still a distant third behind the number 1 all-time scorer in Diana Taurasi, who's leading her with nearly 3,000 points. So, but still, it's still an accomplishment. It's still a great feat, for her and for the WNBA, to see that. And, what a career this woman is still having. She's still out there banging with those young players out there. So congratulations again to her, for doing what she's doing. And when her career is done, she's a first ballot Hall of Famer. So, again, congratulations to her. So next I'm going to be talking about the rookies in the WNBA. Starting with my girl, Angel Reese. She's the first player in WNBA history with 20 rebounds in 3 consecutive games. I'm going to say that again. She's the first player in WNBA history with 20 rebounds in 3 consecutive games. That's a feat that all the greats have not ever done. 20 rebounds in 3 straight games, that's over 60 rebounds. So, kudos to her. She's doing her thing. I know some people want to try and, take away from that, but no matter what, that's her with her will, her want, and her desire, even if it's off of her own missed shot. So you got to want to do it. So the other rookie I want to talk about, which we all know, Caitlin Clark. She's on pace to break Alyssa Thompson's single season mark in terms of the assists. She needs 70 more. And literally with 10, 11 games, that's 7 assists per game. And I think she can do it. Say what you want about her, her antics on the field. The woman has been doing her thing in terms of going out there playing at a high level and competing and doing well for Indiana and keeping Indiana in position for the playoffs. So I'm going to talk about that in a little bit. But you know what? I speak of that because her and Angel Reese have helped to open the WNBA, and they're bringing new fans into this game. So kudos to her, and I hope she definitely breaks it. Now, in terms of the Rookie of the Year, it is coming down to those two, which is going to be Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese. Caitlin Clark is leading right now. She's number 1. She's averaging 18 points a game, 8.2 assists per games, and 5.8 rebounds a game. So that speaks to what she's doing on the basketball court. It's not just her scoring. It's not just her shooting three-pointers. 8.2 assists is very respectable. It's high honors within the WNBA. So I look forward to her. Let me see. Oh, actually, the 8.2 is also best in the WNBA. I thought it was someone else, but okay. She's leading the league in the amount of assists. So she already broke the rookie record held by Ticina Pinachero, who used to play with Sacramento. But Caitlin is already there. Let me see. She's at 316 when the old record was 225 for a rookie. So shout out to her, and what she's doing, all around. Angel, she's averaging 13.5 points a game, 12.9 rebounds, 1.3 steals per game. And her 12.9 rebounds is actually leading the league. So think about that. These two young ladies, as rookies, are leading the league in one specific category, whether in assists and rebounds. So you got to respect that, which is why those two are definitely going to come down to 1 and 2 as far as who wins it. Now, a distant third is Rickea Jackson from the Los Angeles Sparks. Her offensive game has started to pick up once she's gotten comfortable within the WNBA. She's averaging 12.4 points per game on 47% shooting, and she's also getting about 4 rebounds per game. So the Sparks, most people are looking down because they have the worst record in the league, but she's definitely making a name for herself. And in the years to come, her and Cameron Brink are going to be a very good duo in terms of the WNBA. In fourth is NYG's girl, Camila Cardoso, 9 points per game, 7.9 rebounds a game, and 1.2 blocks per game. So Camila started out slow. She was out injured to start the season, but she's starting to pick it up and get comfortable with the game. And down the road in the future, she's going to be able to use her size. She has very good footwork, and her offensive game is going to continue to develop in the long run. So I'm looking forward to seeing her in the future. And the last one I want to talk about is Aaliyah Edwards of the Washington Mystics, another young rookie playing on a bad team right now. But she's averaging 8 points per game, 5.7 rebounds, and 0.8 blocks per game. So she's a very young player who's developing and going to continue to develop, and she's going to contribute to the young talent that's growing within the WNBA. So those are the top 5 in terms of the rookie voting. I know everyone has their favorite. Right now, to me, it's coming down to, like I said, Clark and Angel Reese in terms of winning the Rookie of the Year honor. So I want to shout out to Sue Bird. Seattle honored her by naming a street in the city after her. So they've actually named a portion of 2nd Avenue North to be called the Sue Bird Court. And if you never saw Sue Bird play, you really miss some great talent. I mean, first of all, she's from the area. She I think she grew up in Long Island. She went to UConn, and she was a dominant player at UConn, and then she did her thing in the WNBA. And yes, we talk about Caitlin Clark and a lot of these young players now, but she was that type of a player. And I strongly suggest people to go back, pull up the film, and just watch her game. You will be impressed, man. She was a point guard, a true point guard. She was a point guard who could score. She wasn't a scoring guard who could facilitate. She was a point guard who could score. So, and she knew how to get all her teammates in the right position to, capitalize, what they wanted to do. In terms of a couple of games recently, shout out to Connecticut. They finally beat my Liberty. They beat my Liberty this weekend. I think it was 72-64. They beat them in Brooklyn. And they got off the slide because New York had been undefeated against them, that win also kept them in playoff position, and it secured a playoff spot for them. So this weekend, Connecticut and Minnesota secured a spot. And right now, the only 3 teams that have secured a spot are New York, Connecticut, and Minnesota in that order. So So it's getting interesting. It's coming down to the wire. Most teams have either 10 or 11 games left to play. So the playoff positioning is going to be very heavily contested, which is where I'm going next in terms of the playoff. Right now, number one is the New York Liberty. Hopefully we can secure that. Like I said, they're 26-5, even with the recent loss, but their playoff spot they were the first to clinch. Connecticut is 22-7. Minnesota is 22-8. The Las Vegas Aces and the Seattle Storm both have the same record at 8. Well, actually, I think Vegas won today. They won earlier today. Oh, no, they lost to Dallas. Sorry. They lost to Dallas 93-90. So they're now 18-12. Seattle last check was 18-11. So Seattle will be at 4. Vegas will be at 5. Phoenix Mercury at 16-15 are at 6. The Indiana Fever at 7 at 14-16. Right now, the Chicago Sky are in 8th spot at 11-18. The Atlanta Dream are right on their tail at 10-19. The top 8 make the playoffs. So Washington, Dallas, and the Sparks are all in single-digit wins. So Washington has 8 wins. Dallas has 8 wins now with the win tonight, and Los Angeles has 6 wins. So, like I said, it's coming down to the wire. It's going to be heavily contested, and I look forward to what's going to happen in the WNBA playoffs. Man, it's going to be really exciting. So. If I did my power rankings right now in terms of who is where, yes, New York would be number 1. I actually would put Minnesota at number 2 with Connecticut at number 3. Minnesota has been very hot these last few games. I think right now they have 6 or 7 straight wins since the Liberty just lost. I will put Seattle at 4, Vegas at 5, Phoenix 6, Indiana 7. And I actually will tie with Chicago and Atlanta because they're battling for that last spot, and it's that close. So that would be my power rankings, with Dallas at 10, Washington at 11, and Los Angeles at 12. So, I know most of you will have your own, version of the power rankings. So, I look forward to, you guys tapping in and letting me know, who you feel, in terms of the WNBA power rankings, who is where. In reference to that. So I'm going to go ahead now and move over to college football. Had some great games this weekend and very exciting games this past weekend. And we have some great games coming up this coming weekend. One of the games I wanted to talk about is the first game of the official college football season. It was played over in Ireland, and you had Florida State, who is ranked number 10 in the country. They took on Georgia Tech, and Florida State came right out of the box. The first series took the ball down the field, and they scored an opening touchdown. They even hit Georgia Tech with a 2-point play, and they went up 8-0 right off the bat. But Georgia Tech then turned around and came down the field, and they scored the touchdown and made it 8-7. The next point opportunity, Georgia Tech scored a field goal, made it 11-7. And then Georgia Tech went down and scored a touchdown, making it 14-11. And Florida State hit a field goal right before the half, making it 14-14 at the half. In this fourth quarter, Florida State kicked the field goal. They scored Florida State scored a touchdown. Georgia Tech came back, scored another touchdown, and then they kicked the game-winning field goal as time expired to end up winning 24-21. So it was a big win for Georgia Tech. It was tough loss for Florida State. Now they're not out of the playoff contention, but you know what? To start the season like that, it's a tricky one. Now, 2 other games that I felt were very interesting and exciting. You had Montana State of the FCS level going to New Mexico to take on the University of New Mexico, who is an FBS level. So New Mexico State, for the most part, was winning the game, They did a very good job. When I was watching it, it seemed like they were just dominating the game. And then when I turned away and I figured they were going to win the game, but Montana State ended up scoring. At one point, they were up 30. New Mexico was up 31-14, and in the fourth quarter, Montana State scored 21 straight points to end up winning the game, 35-31. So that's a tough loss for New Mexico. I'm sorry, it is. Now, Montana State is a good program. They play in the FCS level. They play in the same division as North Dakota State, South Dakota State, some of the top programs in the FCS level. So very big win for them. Tough loss for New Mexico. The other one is SMU, which now is in the ACC. That's strange. They went to play in Nevada to take on the University of Nevada. Nevada was up on them. They were up 24-10, and SMU ended up storming back. They scored the next 19 points to end up winning the game 29-24. I really thought Nevada was going to come away with this, in terms of following this score during the tracking era. But hey, it's a big win. It's a great win for SMU. Especially, you can't do that, have that type of a loss going into the new ACC. So they position themselves well in reference to that. So I'm going to keep tracking them as we go along. So, but again, good win for them and tough loss for Nevada. So I was taking a look in terms of the ACC trackings, in terms of how, the teams are perceived and projected. One of the reasons why is because of Syracuse. And I'm looking at, on CBS Sports, and they were looking at, how the teams, they project the teams to finish. And Syracuse, I keep saying Chicago. Syracuse is as high as 9-1 finishing, and as low as 13. So they're going to be within that range. They're going to be into the mid to the lower pack of the ACC. Now, to me, they can they can finish better than that, especially when you're competing with teams like SMU and Cal, who are new, Pitt, and they're right there below the Louisville's, North Carolina, Georgia Tech, Virginia Tech. So it's going to be interesting to see how they do, especially when they have a new head coach, Fran Brown, who just came over from Georgia, top recruiter in the country. But Coach Brown has been like that. He was like that at Temple. He was like that at Rutgers. And he was like that down in Georgia. So he did his thing. So interested to see how they do. Their first game, they're going to be hosting Ohio University, not Ohio State, Ohio of the MAC. So it's going to be played Saturday at 3:30. And if you're looking for it, it'll be on the ACC network. So definitely going to be tuned in, watching what's going on in reference to that game, because, definitely want to see how Syracuse does. So, and one other game, local game. In reference to that game, Syracuse is favored by 17 points. So if you're looking to, get into betting, I'm giving you what the betting line is. You do your thing in reference to that. The other local team that we are going to be watching, I do, is going to be Rutgers. They're playing host to Howard University of the MEAC FCS level program. Rutgers is going to be their first game, having their new quarterback, Ethan Kaliakmanis, taking over the realms. So we're going to see how it goes. Now, Coach Shiano did say in a recent interview that Rutgers is facing several key player injuries. So I'm going to be paying attention to that. Right now, the betting line is Rutgers is favored by 36.5 points. So we have to see if they do cover that point spread. There are some betting prognosticators that I've been paying attention to who don't think Rutgers is going to cover that, especially with the concerns with injuries. Also because they lost Mohamed Toure, their star linebacker. Some consider the best player on the team as a linebacker. So it's tough to see them lose him. So, but Howard last year was 6-6 in the MEAC. So hopefully Rutgers will cover and they'll be able to work out some things, get a lot of young players in, which in the long run can definitely help them, going forward. I'm also going to be keeping track of quite a few other games this weekend. Now, the Rutgers game is actually Thursday. It's Thursday, 6 o'clock kickoff on the Big Ten Network program. So if you want to check it out, you can tune into BTN and see. One other game for my boy NYG I'm going to be tuning in is North Carolina is traveling to take on Minnesota. Now, North Carolina is a 2-point favorite. Minnesota had a tough year last year. They didn't make any bowl games. I think they ended up finished 5-7. While North Carolina, they did make a bowl game. They do have a good team. It's going to be about the quarterback play with both teams. Minnesota's starting quarterback now is with Rutgers. But they wanted to see that because they wanted to go with the younger player that they have. So it's going to be a good, interesting.
Amari in Hampton, North Carolina running back. Just watch out for him. He could have came out last year, but he went back to school. So
okay, this is also on Thursday. So it's Thursday, 8 o'clock on Fox. So tap in, you guys, to see for NYG, see how his Tar Heels are going to do, and then against a Big Ten opponent in Minnesota. Also, a school that Rutgers is going to be playing this year when they come to Piscataway later in the year. So, and the other game I'm definitely interested in, 8 o'clock on Thursday on ESPN. It'll be North Dakota State traveling to Boulder, Colorado to take on Coach Sanders and Shedeur Sanders and the Colorado Buffalo. So right now, Colorado is a 10-point favorite. So it's like, with the FCS, you would expect it to be, yes, double digits, but it would be more like in the 20-point range. North Dakota State is still a good team. I think that they could beat a lot of group of 5 teams. And when I say beat them, there's some that they can beat handily. So they're a good program. So, but yes, I'm going to tap in, of course, because, it's Coach Sanders, see what's going on, with all the controversy behind him. Is Shedeur Sanders going to end up being the Cowboys starting quarterback, and will Coach Sanders be the head coach? All that little good drama, but yeah, I'm going to be tapped into that and check that out. And then over the weekend, you also have one game that I'm going to be keeping an eye on. Stanford, also a new member of the ACC. They're going to be hosting TCU of the Big 12. This is on Friday. It's at 10:30 p.m. start on ESPN. TCU is actually a 9-point favor. So I definitely want to see what's going on there in reference to that game. So if I'm not too tired, I'm going to be up and definitely tapping into that game. I have my granddaughter, so I'll see how I feel. So Saturday, the big game.
The
big game.
Baby gonna have you right.
Yeah. The big game on Saturday, 12 noon on ABC. Number 1 Georgia will be hosting number 14 Clemson. So let's see what Clemson of the ACC, have they rebounded? Are they really going to fight to be in playoff contention? This is going to be a big game because it also does great wonders in terms of positioning. If Clemson beats Georgia, it does well for them and the ACC. And then for Georgia, while it would be a tough loss, it's not going to knock them out of playoff contention. I mean, it's still early. But you know what? It's just going to leave a little head scratcher. Georgia is 13.5-point favorite over Clemson. So definitely want to keep an eye out on that to see what happens. Also on Saturday at noon on Fox, you have Penn State traveling to West Virginia. The Penn State is ranked number 8 in the country. They're an 8.5-point favorite over West Virginia. Now, the reason why it's intriguing to me because they're all within the same region. Penn State is in central Pennsylvania. West Virginia is not far from there. West Virginia's normal rival is actually Pitt, which is in Pennsylvania, which is in central western Pennsylvania. So it's just going to be interesting because West Virginia is projected to be a very good team. Some have even said that they could possibly win the Big 12. So it's between them, Utah, and I forgot who else was the other team that they talked about. I think it was SMU because they're the new team. So, but again, I like that. I want to see with Penn State, because people talk about their quarterback Ayers, ours, however you want to say his name. How are you going to be able to handle it? The environment in West Virginia, big game. So this is the thing that I love about college football. The early test that you're going to, get in games like this. So the other games that I want to keep an eye on. Number 19, Miami of Florida travels to take on Pat's Florida Gators. That'll be Saturday, 3:30 on ABC.
Yeah,
The U is actually 2.5-point favorite over Florida. So definitely going to be interesting. In-state battle, with these two Florida programs. Miami, they faced a tough challenge because, right now people are questioning them because of last year, especially in the bowl game, losing to Rutgers, which is what catapulted Rutgers up into, people paying attention to them. So can Mario Cristobal get the ship righted? Is Florida, who is full of talent, they really are they going to be able to, withstand and come out and do what they need to do to, win that game and get their season off right? So that's going to definitely be a big game. One game that I'm going to be streaming on Saturday, 7:30 kickoff, and it's going to be, what network is it on? 7:30 p.m. on ABC Saturday. Notre Dame is traveling. Number 7 Notre Dame is traveling down into Texas to take on number 20 Texas A&M. That's a big game. Now, I think Texas A&M is getting 3.5 points. So that's a big one right there. So Notre Dame is chasing, because technically they're an independent, even though they do play a lot of teams from the ACC, but they don't play in a conference bowl game. So they literally have to win all their games. They can't chance losing a game. So that's going to be a big game. So, I'm going to have it right here on my channel, Coach Ed Gladney's Amazing World of Sports. Also on the BBK Sports Network. So it's definitely going to be right here.
Yes!
So I'm going to be streaming it.
Yes!
What the hell? I wasn't expecting that. So one other game that I'm going to be streaming on Sunday, 7:30 p.m. on ABC, number 23 USC, new to the Big Ten, they're playing at a neutral site. They're playing in at the Raiders Stadium in Nevada. They're taking on number 13 LSU of the SEC. So that's a big game. So USC's new quarterback, who had a great game in the bowl game, I think he threw 5 touchdown passes. Is he hype, or is he the real thing? And then LSU, right now they're figuring this is going to be a high scoring game. So I think it says the over is 64 points. So we'll see. LSU is 4.5 point favorite. So definitely a game I want to stream, and I might look to do on Monday. I don't know as yet, but I might do Boston College going down to take on Florida State, who's rebounding from their loss. That'll be a 7:30 p.m. on Monday on ESPN. Florida State right now is a favorite for 15.5 points. So but I wonder if it's going to be more than that, because they're going to be angry. But then again, if they're in another tight battle, because this is another ACC game to start the season right off the bat. I've never seen a school take on 2 ACC programs to start the season. So, but that's going to be a big test. So, but yeah, that's the news that I want to keep a track on in reference to the college football world. So, but that's pretty much it. I'll be keeping you guys up to date. Check on me with the this weekend for the reading attack. Will I have more in reference to that? And tomorrow on doing it for the R, where I do everything Rutgers football. I'm going to give you my breakdown on every game. What I think Rutgers. Now, I've said they're going to be 8-4. But I'm going to tell you what games do I think that they're going to win and what games that I think they're going to lose. So, but make sure you guys tap in so I can go over that with you. So with that being said, back to you, NYG.
Good shit, coach.
Yeah.
I'm just interested in that North Carolina game. You already know, son. So
I care about
I
that.
think Carolina. See, a lot of people want to go to the ACC for their quarterbacks. Don't do it. Don't do it. Go get your running backs from the ACC, man. I'm telling you. Now, this kid Amari Hampton, he's good. He's good. Like he was, I think he was in the top half of the league in the NCAA in rushing. People want to talk about Drake May, man, but Drake May leaned on Amari Hampton a lot last year. And so
let me pull up my Bible and take a look.
Yeah. Do what you got to do, man. I mean,
go ahead. No offense, what you talking about?
Yeah, no, I've watched this team, man. I'm telling you, Amari Hampton is a good running back. You know, we put out Giovanni Bernard, Javonte Williams. You know what I'm saying? So I'm telling you, Carolina, football wise, produces as far as running backs. And every once in a while, they'll get a receiver. Hakeem Nicks, Tez Watkins this year, but every once in a while they'll get a defensive tackle or a linebacker or something like that. But really, you go to them for running backs and basketball players. But
I got his numbers: 253 attempts, 1,521 yards. Looks like the longest was. Can't be 17. My God, do I need glasses? Wait a minute.
17.
He doesn't. He's not a. Because you got to remember what they were trying to do in Carolina.
No, he lost he lost 17.
Yeah, he got more than 17 yards rushing in a rush. I know that for fact.
No. What I mean by he had in terms of lost yardage, he had 17 tackle for loss.
Okay. Yeah. Well, bank that on the offensive line.
So yeah, because
you got Martha McKeithen type players.
Yeah.
When you break it down, I'm just saying though. Don't go to Carolina for your alignment.
15 total touchdowns and 5.9 per yard carry average. So, so he was definitely one of the top rushers in the country last year. So, which is still good. And I think he was a freshman. Was he a freshman?
No.
Amari Hampton became the first USC. Yeah, he was a true freshman.
A true freshman, okay.
Yeah, so he was a true freshman. So, you got another 2 years of him, to go in terms of his rushing. So, hey, good point, NYG.
I know a little bit, man. A little bit. I'm catching up. Give me some time. I'll be on here talking college football like the NFL.
Then they were going to give me the every game breakdown. So North Carolina's schedule is at Minnesota, which I just gave you, hosting Charlotte, hosting NC Central, hosting James Madison. James Madison is going to be a tough one. At Duke on September 28th. Hosting Pittsburgh, hosting Georgia Tech, which is going to be tough.
Georgia Tech's tough.
Yeah, you have a bye after the bye. You're at Virginia, at Florida State, then another bye.
We can beat
Then you're at Wake Forest, hosting at Boston College, and then to close out with NC State.
We got a pretty good schedule.
You have a good schedule. It's going to be tough though. So
yeah, there's some tough games in there, but it's a lot tougher than facing South Carolina week 1. And I think the last, if not 2 years, 2 out of 3 years, I know we faced South Carolina week 1. And that's a tough
last
game.
year, yeah. Last year you played South Carolina.
And I think there was another year we played them. I'm not sure.
Yeah, that was in 2019. You played them.
Yes. Okay.
And I think you won that game.
Yeah. But it's tough. It's tough. It's tough starting out the gate with a
last year you started at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think you started at 6-0 before you lost to Virginia, lost to Georgia Tech, then beat Campbell, then beat Duke by 2 points, then lost to Clemson and NC State. So, you don't got NC State this year. I mean, you don't have Clemson this year.
Clemson, yeah, that helps. That helps because we always lose to Clemson. Always. We never beat them. I remember we lost to the ACC.
But it helps for your strength of schedule.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, see, a lot of things are going to go by strength.
Schedule does help because now they have these more teams that can are eligible for the playoffs. So you're right, but I think if we win the ACC, we'll be all right.
Well, it depends on what you do in the ACC, but
the top four.
The top four conferences get the automatic bid. But when I say it depends, are you going to be in one of the top two, or are you going to be number 4? Because that's going to be the whole question right there. In terms of number 4, because then I forgot how it breaks down. The top 4 get the bye, and then right there, number 4 is going to get the I think the next toughest. So then you're going to be, you're going to basically, depending on who it is, you're going to end up, you could end up playing number, let's say for argument's sake, the number 5 team. So, and that could be an SEC team that could be a 1 loss, or a Big Ten team that could be a 1 loss. So that's why I say that, it depends. You want to, first of all, you want to, try and get one of the top 2 seeds. If not, you want us to be over the Big 12, because, you're going to be looking at, definitely team. Because right now, I'm going to be honest, and Pat, you can attest to this. The ACC might only get their champion into the conference tournament, the playoffs, because the Big Ten and the SEC might get 3, maybe even 4 teams. Because you figure the group of 5, man.
I'm sick of them bullies, man.
It's not that, because we talk about the strength of schedule. Look at the rankings. Go look at the rankings. The Big Ten and the SEC. Here's the thing. Look. The SEC and the Big Ten have 4 teams in the top 10. Then you have Notre Dame, and then Florida State is the other one.
Notre Dame ain't part of the conference, though.
No, but they play. But they in terms of football, no, they're an independent. But they play a lot of Big Ten. I mean, the ACC schools.
That's true. Yeah. They like ACC affiliates or something like that.
Yeah, they're an affiliate, but in the basketball and all the other sports, they're a member. It's just that the football team is independent. So because they also play now, they play Michigan. They play Michigan and USC automatically, and I think they're playing. I'd have to find their schedule. I was looking for Duke right now. That's what I was trying to do, to look at their projections going into. Where the hell is?
I will say this: I don't have much longer left. So.
I'm sorry.
I said I don't have much longer left. Where I had to get to sleep.
Right.
Oh yeah, we're gonna wrap it up, man.
Yeah, I'm just.
This was the last segment. We always end up with Coach's Corner on this show here. We've been doing this for almost 3 years now, Coach, man. So salute to me, salute to you, and salute to the Big Blue Crew, bro.
Yes, sir.
Jeffy, miss you, bro. Wish you were here, Jeffy.
Yes, sir, man. Jeffy, if you guys don't know, Jeffy started this thing with us, man. I started my own channel. Thanks to Pat. Pat kind of pushed me to do that. And when I started my channel, I didn't have no subscribers. I didn't have anybody, man. And I was doing streams by myself, Coach Ed, and Jeffy was nice enough to join me on my streams, and we formed Heart of the City. We said, all right, we want to keep this train rolling, so to speak. And here we are, 3 years later, man, still doing this show, man, and it is growing and it is getting popular, despite me being popular opinion sports, man. But let's wrap it up, man. What do you guys have as far as what you got going on this week, man, before we close out?
For me, as far as me, like Thursday, I'm trying to stream that. I am going to stream that Colorado game against North Dakota State, because I think that's a game that a lot of people are going to be interested in. To see how Colorado do with all the things going on in the off season. The transfers and the transfer portal, nil deals, and all that stuff with Coach Prime, and also people want to see if Colorado, if they got better on the offensive line in the trenches and stuff like that. Like, like he was saying, like getting the recruits in and stuff like that. See, what type of offense they're going to have, run. Because I remember last year they started out the gates, their offense was like breakneck pace. You know what I'm saying? Then it slowed down due to getting dominated by the other teams' trenches and stuff. So I'm thinking everybody want to tune in, and plus it's Coach Prime too. So everybody want to see that. So I'm gonna stream that 8:00 on Thursday night, man.
Yeah. Let's get it, boy.
Yeah,
you already know, man. And salute to you, man, K, man. Salute to you, man. Our newest member of the Big Blue Crew, man. But this man is putting in work, man. Y'all go subscribe to the Man K podcast, man. Please go do that right now. I don't know if Tudo's still in the chat, but if you are in the chat, man, if you can
Tudo bingo on. I don't even know Tudo bingo.
I don't know. They be on different time though, so sometimes he be up late. But
yeah, I'm gonna put my channel on there anyway.
Yeah.
I'll put it in
Coach. There. Yeah, you can do that. Coach, what you got going on this week, man?
What don't I have going on?
Right.
tomorrow I got the Pick and Roll podcast that I'm going to be streaming at 5. Then I have at 7 doing it for the R, where I'm going to be talking about Rutgers. And then, if Pat or Lou has something going on, I'll probably be jumping on with them later if I'm not too tired. Thursday, I'm not doing full court press. I'm going to be configuring that, working on some things. But I'm also going to be streaming the Rutgers game. So gave me the opportunity to cover my Scarlet Knight. So 6:00 kickoff, I'll be covering that right here. Definitely getting that out there to cover, Scarlet Nations as we take on them Bison, going barbecue to meat, got barbecue some bison meat. So, so shout out to my man, who's in the spaces, he's a Howard graduate. So Friday, I'll be doing another reading attack, 6:00, and then it'll be 6:00. Yeah, 6:00. I have my granddaughter on Friday also. I'm thinking, am I streaming another game? No, not Friday. I'm not sure. It's Saturday. I'm streaming the game. Unless we do something late, maybe we'll see. I'm usually on something else on Friday nights. Saturday I have the black top.
We're gonna do the black top. I'm gonna actually set the stream up when I get off here tonight. So.
Okay. Saturday I have at 2:00 I have the halftime coaching adjustment show. Usually about 2 to 4, trying to keep it there. And then, of course, I have the Saturday night football game, Sunday Giants conversation, and then the Sunday night football game. And, Monday might do the football game if I don't do reading attack on Sunday. So that's pretty much it. So over to you, Pat.
Pat, you got it, man. What you got going on, man? I know you got some things going on, Pat, man. If you could give the folks a little sneak preview of what you got cooking, man, in that bag of yours, bro.
Basically, we're starting doing an all 32 podcast. NFL all 32 podcast. Gonna get that started right around when the season starts, and New York Giants full access on Wednesday tomorrow.
Okay. No doubt, man. And I will be on New York Giants full access as well as the True Blue Lounge with G Nation Thursday will also be, of course, on the Black Top podcast, man. Got to get my basketball fix in. Saturday, man, always tapping in the leather to the face. If you ain't on leather to the face and you're a boxing or UFC fan, I don't know what you're doing with your life. Sunday, New York Giants conversations, man. Man, we cooking on that show right now, man. We got Giants news, we got trivia, we got previews, we got breakdowns, man, all kind of stuff, man. And it's all of us, man, the whole Big Blue Crew, man. You guys do not want to miss that show. And of course, you can always catch me here at Heart of the City. This is my baby. Heart of the City, man. Tuesday night, 8:30, man. We talking all New York City area sports. And we're going to start branching off to some other topics too, man. I'm going to keep it light, though. Don't bring no politics over here.
Mhm.
But yeah, we're gonna get into some other topics too here, man. That's what the coaches segment is for, man. But I wanted to start it off light with a little trivia, man. Get some fun into the stream, man. But definitely, man, catch us, I should say, next week, man, with another edition of Heart of the City. And don't forget, subscribe to the Big Blue Crew Sports Network. I've been putting it in the chat. Pat been putting it in the chat all night long. Please go subscribe to the Big Blue Crew Sports Network. We are up and running, man. This is where you can catch all of us on one central location. Subscribe to everybody's channel. You know what I'm saying? Please do that. But if you just want to catch the Big Blue Crew in unison, catch us here on the Big Blue Crew Sports Network, man. And that being said, man, we are going to take you out, man, with the brand new Big Blue Crew outro, man. Till next time, y'all know what it is. Deuces.
Peace.
This has been a Big Blue Crew Sports Network production.